They were my best friends growing up.
For black cans.
And I didn't want to leave the hotel. I was scared too.
Meanwhile, you bag it smell like straight horse booty, bro. That's crazy. Welcome to Tabletop Topics. I'm your host, Jeff.
And of course, Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
We got a familiar face with
Returning.
us. Returning guest. My man, David.
David.
How you doing,
The
David?
one and only. The one that created our intro.
Hey.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, thank
Big
you.
props to David.
Thank you,
yo.
thank you.
Thank you,
That
guys.
fire intro that you see, that you're going to be seeing on our videos and that we posted on the last episode.
Yeah.
All credit to him, man.
Yep.
He did a solid job. I love
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Love it. I love
guys,
it.
Thank you.
How you doing today, brother?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Ooh,
Busy.
yeah. School's back. School's
Yeah.
back in session, so you got to deal with bullshit traffic again.
Yeah.
That's trash. And it was raining today, so
Yeah, because when I was going through 6 Mile, it was pretty.
It was pouring.
Traffic was backed
Oh,
up.
dude,
'cause-
it was pouring. I was trying to
Yeah.
put in air in my tires, and I tried to like time it right before, and I got in like before it started raining. As soon as I hop out of the car, it just
just poured
I was
on.
like, bro,
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's tough,
That's
man.
crazy.
That's tough, but it's much needed. Any day we get rain, I don't need to see the sun because it's too fucking hot.
Yeah, it's hot 200
It's
some days a
too
year
fucking
anyway. Yeah,
hot,
so
you know, and this is peak summer. So we're halfway through the month. At the end of this, we're gonna be cruising the rest of the year.
Yep.
But so a lot of things have been happening recently, especially within this past week. It started on Monday. Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago was raided by the FBI, and
whoop whoop.
yeah,
Controversy.
it's
People
crazy,
are gonna
man.
listen because they heard Trump.
Shit's popping off, man.
Shit,
Shit's popping
man.
off.
Yeah, it
man.
is.
And now people are picking sides. Politicians are picking sides, and we're back where we started again. You know,
Of course, yeah.
we're back where we started again. So off of the information that you know, if you have any insight on that, what goes through your mind when you see stuff like that? What do you think we're gonna be expecting in the coming months, or maybe even days?
Shit.
dude. Honestly, I don't see this going anywhere good. I think they've kind of opened a Pandora's box situation. I think essentially the Democrats have put themselves in a corner. Because, like, let's say they go in, they do the raid and everything, and let's say they don't find anything, like, they need to find a banger. You know what I mean?
Right.
They need to find
it has
something
to
that
be-
could put
Yeah,
him
'cause-
behind bars.
Yeah, because I know they said that they had to prove to the judge that he legitimately has something in order for them
Right.
to approve the warrant.
Beyond plausible
plausible
deniability.
deniability
So-
before they do that. Yeah.
If they don't have something like
Concrete?
fucking solid, concrete, like this is the first time, and also the fact that I just heard today that Biden's administration knew and confirmed it.
Yeah, they confirmed it.
So
right.
they knew about it.
Mhm.
So this is the first time a previous administration has legally attacked, through law,
Right.
a previous administration.
Right.
And if we see in other communist or socialist countries, like, or a lot of Muslim countries, especially Saudi Arabia,
Mhm.
that one guy that's the leader of them now, as soon as he got to power, he literally threw half of his family in jail.
Damn.
Right. Same
Half
thing,
of his
yeah.
family. It
That's
didn't even matter that
crazy.
they were
Yeah.
family. Threw half of them in jail.
Yeah, it was
And
the same
then-
thing with like North Korea and shit.
But what they do is they don't just throw them in jail because you can't just do that. You have to make them look like they're doing something bad. So all these people are shady, so it's not that hard to find some dirt on them.
Yeah, of course.
But you got to make it look even worse, so that you also make yourself look like you're the savior, and
savior,
you're
you're
fixing the
saving
problem.
Right.
So, and I feel
feel
like if that is what happens here, like that's like some Banana Republic
We're
stuff.
we're back to the whole Russia gate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was a whole hoax.
That was a whole hoax.
And now
right,
you're gonna
right.
do this, like after people don't trust you, like the FBI. Nobody trusts the FBI.
And
Nobody.
That's tough, dude. And that's tough. 'cause
And that's
it's
sad.
like-
And do you really think it's because they don't want him to run in 2024? Or is there? Do you
But it's
believe
such-
there's a bigger reason behind that, though?
Dude, I honestly, I don't think it's just that, man. I
Yeah.
honestly, the only thing I can come to terms with is, I don't think he's any saint, but I think he's got something on them.
Okay.
I think he's got something major on them.
Okay. Just
And
in
I
case
think-
they try to take him down.
I don't know if it's like some Epstein stuff like that, or if he's got some type of files where he found something. I don't know. I feel like he's got something major, and I feel like because it doesn't make sense. Why do they freak out so much over this man?
It's
You know what I mean?
it's almost
Why
psychotic.
why
right?
would you especially like CNN? Literally, they fell apart because Trump went out of office.
Right, and their viewership went down 90%.
Went down.
Damn.
90%,
Literally, they
yeah.
went out of business because Trump went out of office. I swear to God. That is
He
how
gave
much-
him a job.
Yeah.
He gave that
He gave
whole
Because they
company
had
a
shit to
job.
talk about him every single day.
Yeah, and I feel like we're doing good, especially like okay, there's still gonna be like political discourse, you know,
Yeah.
between left and right, but like we're chilling out, you know what I'm saying? Because in the time we're all dealing with whatever the bullshit's going on, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We're all dealing with the gun violence, we're all dealing with the inflation. We all understood that bullshit was happening overseas, and it was potentially affecting us, but like there was that understanding that okay, we've moved past this.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like now it's like once we got down to a smolder, and they just relit the fire again. But the question that I have is, if there's nothing to implicate him in a crime, why would he plead the fifth 440 times?
Say it one more time.
If there's nothing to implicate him for a crime, why would he plead the fifth 440 times?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, and that's a separate case from this FBI raid. This is for the Southern District of New York, with the lady coming after him. His lawyers advised him, don't answer any questions. The only question he ever answered was, "Is your name Donald J. Trump?" And that was it. That was it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't want to say that okay.
That
There's-
he's like completely innocent.
He's completely innocent.
No, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way.
There's
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, dude.
There's no way.
Once you get to that position, dude.
Right.
there's
You have
nothing
to
above.
step on some people. You have to do some shady shit. And
Yeah.
I believe that with all billionaires. All no one, like once you get to that level of money, nothing you do is clean and ethical. You see what I'm
Because
saying?
honestly, if you think about it, to get to that level, you have to be ferocious.
You
because
have to.
somebody else is going to take it from you. So if you don't demand that respect from other
Right.
people,
Right.
they're just going to take it from you.
You see
So
what
it's
I'm
like
saying?
you have to be like
It's
that.
just
to
stuff
be
like
up
that.
there.
And one of the thing that I found out, which is kind of trippy. There was a law he signed. There was a bill that he signed into law in 2018 that upped the charges for destroying or tampering with classified information that's due to be put in the National Archives.
Yeah.
If you tampered with that information, the penalty was 1 year in federal prison. He signed a bill upping that to 5 years. But now you're hearing claims that he took classified information from the White House.
I also heard though, as president, it is totally legal for you to do that.
Right. Is that protected under
I don't
Executive
know for
privilege or
sure,
something
but
like
I did read under somewhere that it is apparently only the president has jurisdiction to legally do that. If somebody like you did that, somebody else in the White House did that,
Yeah.
that's illegal.
But even after is it during or after their term?
Af-
though?
yeah,
Is
after
it is
their
it
term.
technically legal for
right?
them?
Like
Hold on,
under
wait.
his term, like I would
Yeah.
understand. Okay,
Hold
for
on,
sure.
I'll pull it up for you guys.
For sure, for sure.
And the mic is good, right?
Yeah, mics are good.
All right, I'm just making sure.
No worries, Jeff.
While I'm pulling this up, I do have one question though.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So, my question to a lot of what you just said
Mhm.
is no, I don't think. I think there's a lot of shady stuff with Trump too, and I do
Yeah, of
think
course.
that there's a lot.
Right,
Yeah.
he's not infallible.
Like
That's understandable.
he should be taken down, just like. I mean, I can't say that he should be taken down because I don't know exactly what he did.
What he
but I
did.
definitely think
Mhm.
that he, like all of them, there's something shady going on.
Mhm.
One thing that I don't like is I don't like how they're treating this compared to Hillary Clinton back in 2016. She literally took a hammer and destroyed evidence. Like literally destroyed the evidence.
That's government.
And
government
you don't
property.
where was the raid? Where was the outcry? Where
Right.
was the You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 I
Where was
understand
all
what
of
you're saying.
where was all of that?
Yeah.
It's all it just because I don't know. It just
For,
seems
for me, I would
double-sided.
say there was an outcry, but not from
nothing
the
happened.
right, but nothing
Nothing
happened.
happened.
Exactly.
Right.
It actually
Nothing.
seems like something might happen to him,
Mhm.
but like nobody, everybody knew nothing was gonna happen to her,
Mhm.
and like that's exactly what happened.
And that's exactly what happened.
Oh, I just found the one thing. What?
Do you think it's because he might have dirt on said persons, or
Well, yeah, because wasn't he the
Okay.
first one to go ahead?
The president has the ability to declassify materials before leaving the White House,
Okay.
but not after?
not after.
So after he left the White House, they found out that he took the classified documents.
But if he
Yes,
declassifies
yes.
them, he has to make them public. They have to be made
But
public.
he didn't do that. He
But he
just
didn't
left them. He just left them
declassify
in his Mar-a-lago
You see what I'm
estate.
saying? And that's where, like, the sketchy shit comes up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, hey, I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it. You know what I'm saying? You got to question everything.
Of
You-
course,
you
yeah.
have to question
But
everything.
again, too, that's why I was asking. Since they have dirt on him on whatever it is, does he have dirt on them?
Okay,
He's got it.
okay.
I feel like they all got dirt on.
But here's
Of
the
course,
thing,
yeah.
though.
They, like
If
well-
he has
Okay, go
dirt, why doesn't he just
Because
You
that's
see what I'm
his, that's
saying?
his leverage.
like? Cause,
Because-
go
okay,
ahead.
this is exactly what I think it is. Okay, so this is gonna sound off topic, but
No,
No, you're
I
good.
really
go ahead.
don't think it is off topic. This is what I think happened. So, do you know how Jeffrey Epstein used to blackmail people?
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay,
because he controlled their money.
yeah.
And
so
their secrets.
Yeah.
that's insane. Literally recording people doing horrendous things
Horrendous.
where they're your slave, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's say the reason why none of them put dirt on each other is because both of them have a video like that of each other.
Ah.
So neither one can make the poll because I got you too.
Right, it's
if
like we
you
both
bury
got the
me,
gun.
I'm burying you
Yeah.
too.
Who's shooting first?
Who's
Both
shooting-
hands are on
yeah.
It's
the
like
trigger.
they both got
Right.
nukes, and it's neither of them is gonna. And I think that's exactly the way, like, when it comes to the Democrats and Republicans, I think like a lot of them are tied in that because it's like none of them like each other,
Yeah.
but they all work together.
But they all work together.
Why?
Yeah. Ooh,
They have to.
Right, right.
Because it's
Ooh.
like I don't know, man. I
That's-
feel like a lot. Because another thing too is the list of all those people that went to that island. Nobody knows the names on those lists.
Yeah.
Why?
Or
Why?
somebody has the name of the list,
Right.
and
Why
that they're
is
just
that
holding
even-
leverage.
Why
Well,
is that even hidden though? We know
right.
it exists. It's
Yeah.
actually confirmed. Why is it hidden?
It.
How
The-
can you explain that?
Here's one thing. This might sound off topic, but check this out. Right?
Okay.
You remember when? Because I believe they did release like a portion of the list,
Why not the whole thing?
but not the whole thing. But who was on there? They mentioned Will Smith's name.
Yep.
Notice after that, his whole life went to shit.
Yep.
His whole life went to
That's true.
shit.
That's true.
His wife started dragging him through the mud.
Who else was confirmed on that island?
Oh
I think
man,
Oprah.
I think Oprah,
was also confirmed.
Will
on that.
was
Smith.
Bill Gates confirmed on
I
it?
think Bill Gates, the Clintons,
Yeah, the Clintons were also confirmed on that.
Clintons
on
were
that
also
list, yeah.
confirmed on there.
There's a
But like
part
we
that-
already knew that the prince, the prince, what's his name?
Prince.
Queen Elizabeth's
Queen
son.
Elizabeth's son. Yeah.
Her,
Oh,
her
Not
Prince
Harry,
Andrews?
but Harry.
Prince Andrew.
Andrew.
Prince Andrew, and
Yeah.
he recently
Oh my
had a civil suit back in America related to that case, where he just did a payoff, just like
Yep,
okay,
here's the mo- here,
I'll
take
just
the
pay
money,
you off,
hush, hush.
leave this alone,
Yeah.
and then the
Dude.
royal family like disowned him because they knew if he went down, they were taking.
all
Well,
get
again,
They're
to
taking
the other
everyone.
the other theory is that's why Prince Harry left.
Right. Yeah, Prince Harry-
He heard. That's
Yeah.
what I. That's what I think.
And
too.
then they were
He found out
threatening.
about it,
Yeah,
he's
they were
like, "Whoa,
threatening
I don't
his.
want to be a part of
Yeah,
that."
yeah, yeah. So
He's
they're-
like we're no longer providing you with royal security.
Yep. So they moved.
Right.
Yeah,
so
they
they moved. They moved out
because they knew their life was in
that's
danger,
true.
and that's
Dude,
the only reason why.
Not only that, I remember
Conspiracy theories.
We're head deep in it.
Yeah.
We're getting in.
Oh yeah, yeah. But again, too, that's what that.
But this
that's,
isn't even a conspiracy though.
No, this is like
This is-
verified.
this is
like
real
yeah,
stuff.
this is real shit.
But that's the crazy thing. They want to make it sound like it is.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
if
And
it
that's the
sounds
thing.
crazy enough, people will believe it.
and
It's
people
crazy.
believe it.
Do you know
exactly.
where the term conspiracy actually came from?
No.
No, enlighten us.
Actually, the CIA created the term conspiracy, and they coined it after the JFK assassination.
Because every JFK died after that.
Because it was to get people to stop talking about it.
Even their granddaughter died in a plane crash. What was it?
Yeah, all their family.
2-3 years ago.
All their family.
Yeah, she was
Plane
like 18.
crash,
Dude.
car accident.
Yeah.
Think about it like this, right? So that was a time. So now we don't have freedom of speech anymore.
No,
No.
not at all.
That's gone.
No.
Back
I'm
in
not
the-
even gonna bullshit on that.
It's a cover.
Nah.
It's a
Yeah.
cover.
Let's just be real.
Right.
Back in the day, though, especially like before the internet and everything like that, you actually did.
Right.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
absolutely.
Back in that time, they did. So this is the thing: how do you get people to stop saying something that you want them to not talk about without forcibly doing it? Because if you forcibly do it, you're gonna get an outcry. People are gonna stop you. So you can't do it that way. So you have to go about it a more articulate way. So instead of forcing people to do it, you get people to police each other. So you get people to look like retards or morons, so that because think about it, the word conspiracy has power just behind the word.
Right.
Yeah.
The moment somebody's talking about something and you're in a group of people, if somebody says conspiracy,
They automatically think you're
most of those people turn off
It
automatically.
Yeah.
Turns
discredits
off.
everything.
Think
right.
about that.
Right.
That word is that powerful
Right.
to
Yeah.
do that. So like that's how I don't know exactly how they implemented it in to do it like that, but like that's what that word does.
And that's what people do. They throw it away like it's trash. They pretend like it doesn't exist. But again, too, most of this information is on the internet. It's not like we're talking
Right, like,
crazy
this
or anything
isn't
like that. This is not bullshit that we made up out of our minds. It is on the internet. It's
on
public.
like federal,
Exactly.
websites
Exactly.
and actually databases and shit that you can pull up and access. You know,
Exactly.
government databases that you can pull up and access. So like, and then in the thing that's like mind-boggling, why no one ever what. I understand shit happens a while ago, but like when the FBI declassifies something,
Yeah.
and then you're like, well, that's what it was the entire
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's like UAPs.
But it's like, yeah, you see what I'm saying? But it's like, but people are like, well, that happened a long time ago.
So whatever. Yeah.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter
It's
anymore.
like, but it's happening now. If it happened a long time ago,
Still
don't you think
happening.
they've gotten better at doing it?
Exactly.
You know, like, it's just shit like that.
But
So-
you think people would recognize the pattern throughout the decades. But
Right.
They just ignore what happened
just ignore
20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, and then they just continue moving forward with whatever it is, and then they pretend that everything that happened in the past didn't exist. And it's like, we've been saying this for decades. You just now are listening because now it's on video, or now people are releasing it unclassified
Right.
It's getting to the
documents.
point where
Right.
like you really can't deny it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So to me, it's
Where like
ridiculous.
you look like the fool for denying it.
for
Exactly.
denying it. Right, exactly.
It's
You
like
know?
the tables turn.
But going back to the whole,
Trump.
an extension of that.
the
it's
Trump
like,
FBI. Yeah.
Going back to like, so him coming out and saying it, because I know Merrick Garland had a whole, whatchamacallit, discussion, or he just gave a talk on it about a few hours ago, and he was like, all of this information was supposed to remain classified,
Yeah.
secret, you know what I'm saying? But because there was such a huge outcry from his supporters and members in Congress and whatnot, like, he said in his own words, now I have to go to a federal judge and have them unseal the warrants so we can combat these false accusations.
Yeah.
So it's like, is he calling Trump's bluff? Like, where does this go from now? Because it's like, okay, you're saying this shit is fake, and we wanted to keep it under wraps to protect, our agents and you and whatever, We could have done this under the table, but because there's such a big reaction to it, now we got to go to a federal judge and have them sign off on unsealing this warrant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, now he threw the ball in Trump's court. It's like, all right, if you're pleading your innocence, why not have this, unzipped, declassify this warrant that we went to your home for? So it's like, what's the next step to that? You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's what's so interesting about this.
Who's got the bigger gun?
Who has the bigger gun?
I think that's what it is. Who
You
has
see
the
what I'm
bigger
saying?
gun?
Who has the bigger gun? And you can tell, it's like, yeah, we know Biden signed off of it, but he's publicly trying to distance himself so far from it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to
Too
say,
late for that.
Yeah, it's a little too late.
Yeah, it's too
Like,
late
your
for
name's
that.
in it now.
Exactly,
It's a little too late for
exactly. Signatures
You know
all
what I'm
over
saying?
the
It's
title.
a little too late for that.
Deed. So
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just stuff like, and this is just all new information. Like I'm still trying to like process, what's happening because this week started off with a bang and
Yeah, with a
and
bang.
fucking
it just kept going up here from there.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. And then we're so close to midterm elections, so that seems kind of
The
dirty.
timing seems really fishy.
Yeah,
It just
you
seems
know what I'm
fishy.
saying? Like primaries are happening right now. Midterms are coming up in a couple months. You know what I'm saying? You wanna throw dirt on.
Like you could have done this at any point. You had 2 years.
You could have done this in the
But you're choosing,
beginning of the year,
yeah,
bro.
but you're choosing now.
You could have done
exactly.
this last.
You could have done this instead of the. Oh wait, no, they couldn't do the Russia thing because he was in office at that time.
He was in office.
Yeah, he was.
But either then, you
Yeah.
had 2 years to do it.
You know
You
what I'm
wait
saying?
now to do it.
They waited now to do it, but it's like, if not now, then when? You see what I'm saying? Because if not now, you do it next year.
No, but like, why not do it before?
Oh, like even before.
If you actually knew he did something like that,
Right.
why wait?
Yeah, that's true.
If you actually want justice, like you
Yeah,
claim
that's
to
true.
want,
But
or
they-
is there something else behind it you want?
There's always a hidden
But they
agenda.
did say they had an informant that was close to Trump.
Oh,
They,
like it-
yeah, they did say they had an informant that was close to Trump, and that's how they were feeding the January 6th panel all these text messages like who to go after. Okay, we want your phone records. We want your phone records. Like, you think they just decided, oh, we're just going to go after everyone who supported Trump. They knew specifically who to get. They knew specifically who to go. So there's someone near Trump because his attorneys are reporting that he's paranoid right now.
Of course.
He's paranoid
Was
right
he
now.
not?
And he's only keeping his attorneys near him. But it's like, it goes back to, even your attorneys could
So it's
fuck
not
you
Rudy.
over.
It's not Rudy Giuliani.
Right. Even your
It's-
attorneys can fuck you over.
No, his
Rudy
informant.
Giuliani.
No, his
Rudy
informant. It might not
Right.
be Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy Giuliani. Right. Rudy Giuliani.
That man's on a different level.
Yeah, he's not even. I don't even think he owns a majority of whatever's happening. What's cooking under the table right now. But it goes back to the whole. It's like, in his position, who can you trust? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
that's true.
It goes back to even this past week with the whole Infowars, Alex Jones.
Dude, that was crazy.
Do you really think
45
his
million?
attorney?
That was the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Do you think his attorney
They accidentally sent
4 years of
everything.
phone records
Everything.
to the prosecution? That's crazy. Come on.
Accidentally. When they
bro.
realized that he was not going to pay them, they accidentally, when they pulled out the whiteboard, Jeff's like, it's over.
It's over. Because
Just like it's
I was
over.
like, and I said this in the previous episode, I was like, bro, the moment they pull out the whiteboard, just stop lying.
Yep.
Just stop lying.
Yep. They accidentally
they're about to
typed
bury
in the attorney's name
They sent the prosecution 4 years of his phone records.
to their email by accident. That you had to type in the email,
And
put
then
the
walk-
attached files on there, and then send it to them. That was by accident.
And then
Get
in
the
the
fuck outta
entire
here.
time, the whole, and that's what sucks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like, if the attorney-client privilege, like if you accidentally did something like that with your client, you would tell them.
Yeah.
But
They let
didn't.
him go on the stand and perjure himself for 30 minutes. And then after his deposition, that's
pull
when the prosecutor was like,
Let's pull out the whiteboard.
they're like, so you're claiming X, Y, and Z. You didn't do that. Blah, blah, blah. And they're just leading him. They have the reel, just reeling him in.
Yep.
And he just continues to perjure
You
himself.
gotta be quicker than
Well, a few
How
days
can they
ago,
legally use those phone records?
I believe they admitted it through. They passed it through.
that. Yeah,
the
they have
judge.
to. They have to admit it through
had
evidence.
right. They had to admit it
Yeah,
through
and
evidence.
then the judge has to approve it.
And the
So.
judge approved it. Yep, and the judge approved it, and
Accidentally.
it was so sad because like, and not for him, but just for like the whole thing. Like it was more of like a pity. Like I pitied him because he was so confident, because he went into the case to like make a spectacle, like to stick it to them. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting any of this information. So like he'd be really loud. He'd discredit the prosecution and da da da, and then and his attorney is just sitting there with the pin in his mouth, knowing what's about to happen.
They didn't even let him
They
know.
didn't even let him know, bro. They didn't even let him know.
Oh yeah,
bro.
like when he told me the reason why, I'm like, yeah, he's not paying us, so we don't give a fuck anymore.
I'm like,
we're doing this for free at this point.
well, I don't know if he was paying them or not, but it's just like.
But why do that though? You see what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. You have, even like use an example with the Daredevil.
Yeah.
Look at what the what was it, the something attorney, the something district attorney.
Yeah.
Oh.
They can shut you down.
That's
They
true.
could trump up some charges
That's true.
on you,
That's true.
blackmail you, and be like, if you let this man get off with XYZ, we're gonna bury you. You see what I'm saying?
So you think it was kind of a threat on their
I
part?
think it was a threat
On their part.
on Alex Jones's team.
So it was like throw him to the wolves so they can focus on
Right.
him instead of
Right,
where
and then
directing
after
okay.
that was released at the end of the case when they finished the sentencing and everything. That's crazy. 45 mil.
45 million.
45 plus 4 mil to the family. So 49.
So who's
almost
getting that
50.
45 million?
I think it's just that one family.
Just that one family.
That one
because
family.
they sued for $100 million.
They sued for 100 million,
But
and
he only gave them 4.
Right.
Then they found out that his business made $800,000 a day. So they're like, there's no way you cannot afford to pay this family that much money. So
much money.
the 45.8 million.
His net worth, along with his production,
It's 270
company,
million.
270 million. Have a net worth of 270 million.
Yeah. So he has to pay the 45
Yeah,
million.
man. So, and then the craziest thing was after the entire case, when the prosecution was talking to the judge, they were asking the judge for permission because the January 6th committee requested his phone records. The January 6th committee requested.
They're trying to bury
his
this man.
Yeah, requested his
bury him.
phone records between him, Roger Stone, and anyone
Who was in there?
who was implicated on the whole.
You know what's funny
January 6th.
about that? Like, this is what I find funny, dude. Hearing all of that is just like, for years, dude, we've heard like fake news stories from accredited
News sources,
and
yeah.
news channels for years, dude. Nothing happens, or even if it does, nothing like that. You know what I mean? And then, but just because this is the same man, remember the Bohemian Grove video I showed you?
Yes.
with the
Yes,
woods?
yeah.
That's the guy that uncovered it.
Holy
Is
shit.
it making more sense now?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's also the same guy that really delved into the Epstein crap,
Mm-hmm.
really got into it, and really uncovered a lot of shit. Like, a lot of people think that.
And he's still alive? That's crazy.
Well, think about it, because this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking because he had such a massive fan base that they couldn't just kill him.
Gotcha.
Right.
Because if they just killed
Oh,
him,
man.
all the he has a massive fan base. Like, all of us would be like, okay, we obviously know who did it.
Right.
Yeah,
You know, at this
that's
point, you know what I mean?
That's true.
So they have to come at him a different
And
way.
his
Right.
backups
Ruin
probably
his
have
reputation.
backups. Yeah.
And notice how they had a perfect thing, because he did fuck up with the Sandy Hook thing. I will admit,
Mhm.
did mess up with that, but they just waited for a perfect opportunity for him to slip, and then boom, bury him.
And they got him.
And they got him.
They got him.
They got him.
Man.
They got him.
Got that man, bro.
But that's the thing that just trips me out the most, is like, it's all to me, the only reason why that sentence was that big, or the only reason why they really came at him like that, is because he's the same guy that uncovered a lot of shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm pretty sure like the district attorney pushed the family to really, go after them, because it's like any normal person really wouldn't challenge.
They don't even know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
No.
mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know the
I don't know how to-
legal loopholes to
Loopholes,
go
yeah.
through to go after someone like that.
That big,
You
exactly.
see what I'm
That's
saying?
why people go to school for it.
Exactly.
It's
Like, I don't know
us to sit here and act like we know how to do that.
Yeah, like
What's the
that.
point of being a lawyer then?
That's not common knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
not.
it's like when I'm thinking about that shit, it's like, man, some shit's about to pop off,
Yeah.
and it's gonna get ugly, and that kind of transitions into
Cincinnati.
the incident that happened this morning with Cincinnati, where it's like now you have these outcries for defund the FBI and defund a lot of these departments.
Radicals.
I'm gonna call it what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because there's crazy people.
Yeah.
who act on their ideals. You
Yep.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if they believe something wholeheartedly. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And if it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But
Just like sovereign citizens.
sovereign citizens,
Yeah, just like sovereign
right?
citizens
You know what
that
I'm
don't
saying?
believe in.
It's only the Constitution.
Yeah.
Is it the only thing? I don't even think they
I think
subscribe
it's
to the Constitution.
the
I
first-
think it's the Bill of Rights. They only subscribe to the Bill of Rights.
Bill of
So
Rights.
the Bill of Rights was the template for the Constitution.
Yeah.
Yeah. So land, liberty, and something else.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they don't.
In the pursuit of happiness.
In the pursuit of happiness. I
Yeah.
think it was something.
So,
like
yeah.
that, yeah. But so yeah. So now you hear these outcries for defund the FBI, and it's like now we're challenging these institutions, and of course you're going to have your fringe groups on the internet who will talk about actually taking up arms against these institutions.
Yeah.
And the idea was, and it just seemed I'll leave it at that. But you have these, so I'm guessing, not guessing, but that's what was reported, it just
Information's
happens.
there.
Right.
Information's there. It's not like you're
It
making
just
it up.
happened. So
Yeah.
an individual armed himself in like full tactical gear,
Yeah.
AK-47, AR-15, and he was gonna lone wolf the FBI
In Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati,
This man walked in there like Rambo.
like Rambo, bro, and had a whole shootout with them motherfuckers.
Damn.
And then it
For
led
no
up-
reason.
For no reason, and it just led up to a high-speed chase.
After he
And-
ran
Wait,
out.
he got in there, shot up the place, was able to
Shot-
get out of there.
Get
He
out
ran
of
out
there.
of bullets. He ran out of bullets.
And they,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to
No, you're good.
discredit the horrible thing that happened, but like,
Really.
And
let
no one died.
You let a guy walk in there
Yeah.
with weapons as the FBI. You guys all have guns strapped to you.
they would have
No-
sniped me 800 yards away.
Yeah, these
The
are
moment they saw me get out the car with a fucking armored vest,
Yeah.
boop, all right, we just clipped that weed over there.
The fact that he got back in the car and drove off.
And drove off.
You couldn't shoot the
High-speed
tires?
chase.
Like,
That's so wild. That's so wild. That's so
That's
wild.
how
to
you
me,
know
though.
it's fake. It's fake.
Like, don't they have clearance, security clearance, to even get
To the
to
FBI.
you know what I'm saying? So like that popped off earlier today, and now it's like it kind of reinforces the, like we're onto something big and people are trying to stop us,
Yep.
type of scenario, and it's like how much of that is like I don't think. Here's my thing.
Wait, nobody died. Did
No one
anybody
died.
get shot?
No one got shot.
So he shot
no
all
one-
those bullets.
No one got shot.
No
No one
one
died.
died.
What
And
was
he
he sh-
also made it out of
And
there.
he also made it out.
You know, I think it
I
is.
don't know.
You know, I think it is. It's
I
a
don't
It's a misdirect. It's a misdirect to focus on something else besides what's really going on.
But that's the thing. It's like
That's what it
That's
looks
what
like.
it is.
Right.
That's
Unless
what it looks
unless he got blanks and put it in there,
My question
and
is-
then just
where the fuck?
Because nobody's expecting it. How do you not at least, not to sound like an out, but how do you not hit at least one person?
exactly.
When
Aren't
nobody's
y'all all
expecting
trained?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, aren't y'all like?
don't you have to? Don't you all go to Quantico to
like,
get into the
individuals and shit?
FBI?
Like, you know what? But
Okay, all right.
you ask too many questions. You know what I'm saying? You
I don't know about that story. That story seems good.
Now there's
Yeah.
starting to, there's a lot.
But
of
yeah, that
loopholes in
shit just
story,
happened
yeah.
today. So give it a little bit, and then maybe we'll really
Get
start
more
getting
information.
The meat and potatoes of what's really.
Yeah, we found
happening.
out this sovereign citizen decided to shoot blanks at the FBI, then jump in his vehicle and do a high-speed chase on
But it's
I-9.
like, what is the end game? Like, I know people always talk about, okay,
Sometimes
war,
there
civil
isn't.
war, civil war.
Sometimes
But-
there isn't.
Put this in your head. Are you truly ready for that?
No, I don't think anybody will.
You
be.
call for it.
No.
Like, individuals
Yeah, man.
call
Nah.
for it, but are you truly
I don't
ready
think
for
anybody's
it?
ready for it.
Dude,
You see what I'm
war,
saying?
nobody's ready for war.
So,
Even like
and
with
are
the-
you fighting for an ideal, or are you fighting for one man? You see what I'm saying? Because it's like you have a certain individual who wholeheartedly believe Trump was sent by God. You know what I'm saying?
that's true.
Yeah, because you'll have those
Trump
flags
was
with
sent
him.
by
Yeah.
God. You know what I'm saying? So it's like once you tie God to an individual, it's inseparable.
That's when it's
It's inseparable.
Yeah.
Because
That's
They
to
wholeheartedly
those
believe that.
who deny that, they're denying God.
Dude, and I got into a lot of that on the Vatican documentary with the popes,
Mm-hmm.
and like, this is one thing, like, I didn't, like, it's so dangerous to, like, I always used to wonder, like, when, like, I would read the Bible and I would think, like, when Jesus, like, called himself God, like, why they freaked out and, like, were, like, had such an outcry. But then I think about it and I look at the popes, right?
Yeah.
And I see what, like, so I do believe Jesus to be God, right? But let's take a pope, for example, right? I don't personally believe him to be God. People who are outside of the Catholic belief also, I would say, believe the same thing.
Yeah.
Don't
Right.
believe that he is from God.
From
or
God.
something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
We would all look at the Pope as a total sham and a scam, and somebody who is manipulating and abusing people under him who, in a very, like, what makes it, like, worse is, like, you're not just messing with somebody's pockets, like, you're messing with somebody's soul.
Yeah.
That's what
Yep.
makes it worse. to
Exactly.
me.
Yeah. it
Because
is.
it's like, these people really believe with their whole heart that you're going to lead them to salvation. That, like, when they die, they're going to go where you said they were going to go. And, like, dude, let's say, like, they die with, like, let's say if, like, we don't all just cease to exist. We actually go somewhere. And it's not where you were told.
Yeah. So
Ooh,
then it's
you know what I
like,
mean?
Ooh.
well, who was the Pope before Francis?
Is it Benedict?
It was
think
Benedict?
I think it was
Well,
Benedict.
He retired early, right?
Because the crazy thing was, because I
It
was
was
talking,
Benedict. I
yeah,
think.
because I was talking to my brother about that and how, and how this is just a small thing, but how everybody in the country didn't like homosexuals or gay people, but then Pope Francis comes in, accepts them, so now they all accept him.
Yeah. That's
So-
exactly what
I'm like,
happened.
So you're
That's
telling me,
Dude,
what the
not-
fuck just happened?
Not only did Pope, okay, this is one thing that's weird about
What the fuck just
Pope,
happened?
Pope Francis is a fucking insane pope. Like, even with Pope standards, like,
Pope standards, that's a thing.
it's so crazy
Yeah.
because, like, he basically, like, when I was doing research on Pope Francis, like, he doesn't prescribe to his religion that he claims to believe in.
Damn.
He doesn't. Because, like, one thing, the homosexuality thing. Okay, look, if you claim to believe in God and you claim to believe in the Holy Scriptures, being gay is a sin. Just like lying is a sin.
Yeah.
Like, you can't claim to believe, like, because you're, like, where Catholics and Christians get their
Beliefs.
source of truth, like, truth itself,
Self.
is from this book. This book is supposed to give you truth itself. It's supposed to be unchanging, right? That is the belief. So if you claim to believe that, you can't do, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't
You
do
can't.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
You can't.
Or
That's
not
facts.
only that, he
Right.
goes and he tries to, he's been doing this one thing ever since he got into
The position.
the position.
Yeah.
He's trying to bring in all these religions together into one.
Okay.
He's bringing Judaism, he's bringing different Muslim religions, he's bringing Catholicism, all of these different religions. He's trying to bring together Islam into, like, one religion, saying that we all believe in different gods, but it's okay because, like, we're all going to be led to the same
To
God.
the same God.
But the thing is, if you actually study and read those different religions, that's not what any
It's
of them
not what
say.
any of
Yeah.
them say.
They all
Right.
say, look, this is the way to it. If you do anything else outside of this way, you're going to
You're
hell.
going to
That's
hell.
what they all say.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he's bringing them all together as if, like, no, it's all fine. We're all worshiping the same God. And it's like,
And he's making them believe
what are
this.
you, yeah, it's like, what are you
Yeah.
telling these people? You know what I mean?
I feel it. I feel it.
So it's literally blind faith.
Blind faith.
I look at him as a wolf in sheep's clothing.
I feel it.
Okay.
A wolf in
feel
sheep's
it.
clothing.
Yeah, you actually have a documentary on that. That's is it a documentary? Right? Okay,
Yeah, it's
I
a
can call it.
Yeah.
Documentary on that dropping out on YouTube on your Illusions channel. Illusion channel on YouTube, guys, check it out. It's dropping tonight, but you won't know that until Tuesday.
Until Tuesday, yeah, because that's
But-
when we're releasing the episode.
But if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's on YouTube.com. Illusion or Illusion?
Illusion.
At
Illusion. Check it out, guys.
Yeah.
And subscribe. Like and subscribe. My man puts out really good content.
Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely. So check that out. But yeah, man, it's like once you do that, those who deny that belief, who reject Trump, you can say they're rejecting God. If you believe that Trump was sent by God.
By God, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then that's where it's like, now we're going to be fighting for something greater. And once you believe you're fighting for something greater, you know what I'm saying? That's where things start going downhill.
That's when people...
You're going down the rabbit hole.
It's bad because, like, because if you think about it, like, how do you explain it? Yeah. You can't associate any one person, like, to God. Right? Because, like, we see when it comes to, like, just like you said, like, supporters with Trump, right? Like, they are what you would call fanatics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because, like, when it comes to Trump, like, I would look at him and just say that he's saying just a lot of things you want to hear.
Right.
And because, like, slogans are a very powerful thing. Hitler was...
Oh, dude was fucking...
Hitler knew the game of slogans.
He knew it.
And that's what a lot of these people who claim that, like, they're from God or claim to be, like, prophets and stuff like that, they all create slogans which are short sentences that people can grab. That resonates to, like, the soul. Resonates to their history or something like that. And, like, because, like... They bring in these masses of people because they say these few short things, and then they feel like they know the person. They feel like they've, that the person understands them.
They've connected with
that they're like a fatherly or motherly figure that they're going to lead them into, like, the promised land.
Right.
Yeah,
quote,
yeah.
unquote.
Like, so even if, they suffer under that guidance,
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth
there
it.
We go.
Because it's for the cause.
Because it's for the cause.
It's for the cause.
That's nutty, man. Could you... Because I always had the belief that, and it's even in Scripture, it's like when Jesus returned, it'll be like a thief in the night. He won't announce himself. He won't be this boisterous figure. You see what I'm saying? And then that draws comparisons to, like, where people compare Trump to the Antichrist. You see what I'm saying? Or it's like...
He announces himself.
He is that boisterous.
He puts himself out there,
He puts himself out there.
Because he wants people to notice him and follow him and worship him.
And you know what I'm saying? And things like that. And then you get that idea where, okay, maybe this is the Antichrist. And then, of course, through the whole 2016 campaign and, of course, the 2020 campaign, you've seen, like, memes with a reference
I've seen it. I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, personally... I do kind of find it interesting. I don't necessarily believe in it, but I understand why people would think that. I understand, like, where people come from with that. It's hard to... This is one thing that, like, I feel like every generation has done. The Bible is very complicated and extremely complex, especially when you get into Revelations. It's a lot of symbolism. It's a lot of, mainly it's a lot of symbolism. Now, trying to understand, like, what that symbolism is actually truly saying, that's where all of us get mixed up.
That's where we get mixed up.
Because it doesn't speak about things that are direct. It paints a picture for you.
Because it came to him in a dream.
It came to him, or a dream, or whatever.
Dream,
a
like
dream.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
But yeah, so throughout, like, the generations, like, we'll see characteristics of somebody who has the characteristics of what is spoken about in the Antichrist, and we'll be like, okay, well, it's got to be that.
It's got to be that.
Like,
guy.
Back in the day, people used to think it was Hitler.
It was Hitler, right?
They also used to think, for the longest time, actually, it was the Catholic Church. They thought the Pope was the Antichrist.
I got
you.
Right.
And they actually originally got that from not even just Protestants, but other, because there's a bunch of different denominations. Even Jehovah's Witnesses thought the same thing. But it's a weird thing how throughout the generations, like, people will prescribe different individuals to these characters, and the life still continues.
Right.
Is the weird thing, because, like, if he really is supposed to be the Antichrist, everything's supposed to end after him. So it's like all those people were wrong.
Because didn't they say the Antichrist would unite the nations?
Well, this is what it says about him. It says that he comes in, he essentially creates world peace, where he solves the world's problems, and that's how he gets everybody to follow him.
Yep.
Right? And then he sets up three things. He'll set up a one world government, a one world currency, and a one world religion. And during that time, when he sets up everything, that's when he's supposed to basically try to wipe out all Christians, proclaim himself to be God and to be worshipped. This is where the mark of the beast comes in, where you can't buy, trade, or sell anything without having this mark. If you do get the mark, you're, in the Revelations, you're banished to hell.
Because you're essentially selling your soul.
You've sold yourself out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So then after the Antichrist, the timeline is also another thing that's very symbolic. Nobody understands how long he's actually going to be here or what it says that he's supposed to be here for how long. But essentially, he's here for a time. He does all that. Then Jesus shows up where it says that he literally opens up the sky like a scroll. And then this was an interesting verse. It says that the people will hide themselves in the caves and the rocks and cry out for the rocks to hide themselves from the face of the Lord. Now, one thing that's interesting about that verse, you ever seen those underground cave systems?
Yes.
Those major, like, they
those
look
catacombs
like cities.
Oh yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Like the
yeah.
massive underground
buried cities. Yeah, absolutely.
This is one thing that's, now this is just totally my own personal off-topic little belief, but I do find it interesting that it does state that, because in my thinking, like, I think what like is gonna happen is basically God's gonna show, like, some cataclysmic event's gonna happen where all the elites go underground. God shows up. And then they're all going to be crying for the rocks and everything to hide them so that he doesn't see them. So, but then essentially that happens. He basically wipes them all out, and then that's when he starts the new heaven and the new earth.
Okay.
So, quick summary, that's what happens.
That's what's up.
Okay. So, like, and before that is the rapture, right?
So, the rapture is actually something that doesn't actually happen in the Bible. Not in the way that most people... So
it's depicted.
The rapture is... So a lot of Christians get the rapture belief. It started from, I believe, the early 19th century, but a lot of pastors would preach that Christians would get raptured before the Antichrist showed up. So essentially, right before the Antichrist showed up, Jesus would show up, rapture everybody, and then the Antichrist would show up, and then Jesus would show up again, and then save the people who got saved during that time, and then do all that other stuff. It's not what it says. What it actually says is essentially, basically the timeline is those who are, because one of the verses is, it says, the one who endures to the end shall be saved. And it also does say, Matthew 24, that they will literally take you up to tribulation and they will kill you on my name. It also says, when they take you to court, don't worry about what you are to say, for the Holy Spirit will give you the words to say.
Yeah.
So he's literally preparing all believers that, look, when he shows up, you will be here, you will die.
You will suffer and die, right.
But if you endure till the end, you will be saved.
Wow.
So then and then it also states, there's another verse where the martyrs are literally crying to God for justice, because they're seeing their brothers and sisters getting killed on earth still, and they're crying to God saying, look, when are you gonna end it? When are you gonna come in and actually bring justice to the situation?
Yeah.
And he tells them to wait a little while longer, and he gives them white robes. And then he waits a little while longer, and then that's when Jesus shows up and does all that. So it's a weird thing. I think the reason why that belief came is because a lot of people have what I would consider wishful thinking in life scenarios.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to think that they're going to have to die for their faith. Nobody wants to think that their life's going to be hard. Nobody wants to think that horrible things are going to happen to them. So I think that it's
like a cope, kind of?
I think essentially, like, pastors, I think what happened was they were trying to bring people into the church, and telling people that isn't really the best thing that people want to hear. You scare people away. When you actually teach what the Bible says, you scare people away. It's just plain and simple.
Yeah.
People don't like to hear what it actually says.
The horrible stuff in there, yeah.
So I think that's where I think we also get mega churches from. I think, like, slowly over the years,
Jeez.
like, I think it started with good intentions. Like, they wanted to bring people in, but they're like, yo, we can't really talk about this kind of stuff. So let's just kind of, like, change it a little bit.
Umbrella, right?
Yeah. So I think, like, over time, it slowly changed, and that's, like, what happened.
Wow.
Because that belief, did start from like it was the 18th or 19th century.
Mhm.
It wasn't like when the back in the Roman times when the Christianity was like spread throughout worldwide.
Right. Mhm.
That belief wasn't in existence. It wasn't a thing. So it's a new thing. So it's weird.
Wow.
Spitting information. we
Yo,
didn't know
bar,
about.
bro,
Thank
he
you,
came.
man. Yeah, hell
he came.
yeah.
Bro, I love
what's
it.
up.
That's why I was talking about.
I find
knows.
religion to be so
He knows.
fascinating.
He
Yeah.
knows,
There's so many hidden
honestly.
secrets and gems behind it. It's just
Dude,
whether
there
you want to take
is.
the time to explore it and understand it instead of pushing it away because
It doesn't fit your lifestyle.
It doesn't fit your lifestyle, or the whole you have to have faith in order to believe that there is a God and that He exists. So, but yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild. That's wild.
Censorship,
Oh yeah.
shadow banned.
So.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull. Let me pull up these photos.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so the first one they took down.
Yeah, let's introduce these because we were
Okay, go ahead.
we were going through your TikTok a week ago.
I believe so.
It
Yeah.
was about a week ago, and we saw a post where you were explaining how TikTok shadow banned you, and now you're looking. I don't know if you're looking to appeal it, but if that's in the future, please break that down for us, man. What happened?
Yeah. Censorship.
The first, so I made a regular TikTok, which is Illusion, and they took down the first video, which was the woke culture video. And I don't remember what they said because, again, I didn't take a screenshot of it, but they took that one down, and I tried appealing it, and they actually put it back up.
Oh, okay.
solid.
Cool. Cool
Okay.
beans.
But this is something that I've noticed, and
There's
they're
the catch.
Yeah.
slick.
There's a catch.
And they're slick with it. This is what TikTok does. If they take a video down, instantly you are shadow banned. For like a week, it could be days, it could be 2 weeks, it could be a month, you are shadow banned.
And you'll never
Whether that appeal goes through and that video's back up, you're still shadow banned.
Wow.
You are still shadow banned.
Wow, so that's why a lot of YouTubers sometimes says we need to work against the algorithm because we are shadow banned
We're
on
shadow
YouTube or
banned.
shadow
It's a
banned.
real
on-
thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And so, and the reason why I noticed it was the way I was able to prove it for real was I made a backup account, right? So the
Solid.
backup account actually, because the first account was shadow banned, it wasn't getting traction. The backup account actually got bigger than the original account.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
the backup account at this point has 700 followers. The
Wow, that's what's up.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's solid.
the
That's
other one
solid.
has 500. But the only reason I'm bringing those numbers up is just because when they took down a second video, let me pull up the exact thing. When they took down my second video, and I'll show you the screenshot real quick, which was for oh yeah, I literally made a video of TikTok shadow ban explaining it, and they took that video down too.
Oh
Took
wow.
that video down.
Yo.
You can't explain shadow ban to them.
What the
Or we're gonna
fuck?
shadow ban you.
You know what? And so this is the video. So as you can see, TikTok shadow ban on the top.
Right.
Yeah.
And you see the community guideline thing?
guidelines,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
See that?
Oh wow.
So
Okay,
now, like
yeah,
after
yeah.
that happened, did you like just?
Well, hold on. You know what the reason was for? Read it out.
Integrity and authenticity. What? How do you? What the fuck?
What is that?
How
What
do
is-
you even gauge that?
What does that even
How do you
mean?
gauge someone's integrity and authentic?
This is what they said.
Yo.
Violation reasons: integrity and authenticity. Content that is intended to deceive or mislead any of our community members endangers our
What
trust-based
the
community. We do not allow such content on our platform. This includes activities such as spamming, impersonation, and disinformation campaigns. So it's the disinformation campaign.
Disinformation.
That's what they hit me for.
And they don't even give you like. That's.
No, they just took that shit
They
down.
just took
They
your
just
shit
took that
down. Like they don't even tell you
No, they just take it down.
specifically. And that
That's
had to be
stupid.
someone that reported that, right?
Yep.
Like someone had. To,
Yep.
So that it only takes one person to fuck you over.
Yep.
So this is what's interesting, right? So the Illusion, the regular one, has only 500 followers, right?
Yeah.
The other one has 700. I post, so this is the video. It got taken down, so I had to literally re-upload it because they wouldn't appeal it. this time.
Okay.
I had to actually delete it and upload it again, right? So this next video on the regular account, which has less followers, the next video got 2,000 views.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
It gets 2,000 views, 200 likes, and it has comments. So there's a lot of traction on that video. But then the backup, I post the same video at the same exact time. You know how many views the other one gets? This is the backup who has 200 more followers. It gets 156 views.
Oh, that's... Oh, and then every previous 9,000 views, 1,500 views. That's
Tell me that's not
nuts.
shallow,
Yeah, that's shallow.
That
man.
is
That's shallow, man.
big shallow.
Like, it's just, like...
That's shit, dude.
So
That's
damn,
shit.
that's crazy. The way censorship was,
yeah,
and the way it is now.
because it's like who's regulating that? Like, and it works different for each
China.
platform, right?
China is regulating
Oh
it.
yeah, China.
It is
But
a-
wouldn't that help China? Aren't they against woke shit? Like, what? Shouldn't
Yeah.
that
That's
be
what
helping?
blew my mind. Okay, so that's how I know it's not just them, it's also people.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew the woke culture was a divisive topic, but I know people on that side do have a tendency to just report people for
Right.
absolutely
It's
no
like,
reason.
I
No
don't
reason.
even care.
Yeah.
You said the words. You said the trigger words. Report. Ban.
You know,
Absolutely.
that's just
Absolutely.
So that's why and then also talking with my sister who has been on TikTok for about over a year now, and going through Reddit on research, that it's just what they do.
Wow.
That's
Like
crazy.
literally,
Wow.
people can just report you and they'll take your video down. They don't even check it.
There's no. Damn.
They
That's.
just take it down.
That's so ass. Like.
Where have we gone with censorship?
But this is
Yeah.
what's funny though. So the reason why they don't tell you about the shadow ban though is like they try to be sneaky with it. They try to be like, oh well, you could just appeal your video and it'll be put back up. Most of the time, yeah, your video will get taken
Yeah.
back up, but nobody's gonna see it.
Yeah, ain't no one.
Yeah.
So,
So
what's
it's the
the
same
point? Yeah,
thing.
it's the same shit.
Yeah.
You just covered me with a curtain. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
basically.
recording in the dark now.
You just covered me with a curtain that you didn't tell me and didn't tell any of my fans about.
Yeah, exactly. So
You know what I'm
essentially,
saying? That's-
essentially, you got to beat the algorithm in order for people to know that you're
That's
actually.
nuts, man.
So it doesn't even matter how PG you are, because some idiot can just report you.
Report you.
Yeah.
That's fact.
Yeah.
Just because they don't like you.
Because it hurt their feelings. They
Yeah.
were offended. That's trip. Hey, man. Because I know how YouTube's algorithm works. Because, like, if I get a copyright claim or some type of claim, you can appeal it, but you have to think twice. Because if YouTube
Okay,
is...
so if I get a copyright strike, what do I do?
if you get a copyright strike,
It's the smartest thing for me to do.
I would say appeal it, or at least find like maybe get in contact with someone in the YouTube team and then personally talk to them, or you could go on Twitter.
Okay, so try to get in contact with
Get-
somebody there
right.
before I do
Before
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
because
See if they can fix it.
exact, because here's the catch-22, right? Let's say you do appeal it. If YouTube deems that your appeal isn't valid, they won't keep it a block. They'll just delete your whole channel. They'll
That's
just
crazy.
delete your whole channel,
That is crazy.
And you also can't be monetized.
and you
when
can't
they-
be monetized, right?
when they give you that strike, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Can't
you have
monetize.
to get it appealed.
So you have to get it appealed. So if you spent hours on a video and it's like you post it and you want to monetize it and they claim it, you have to appeal it. But what I would do, I would get in contact
with them.
with them first, because you could contact their support team through email, Twitter. You can actually find individuals who work for YouTube
And actually talk to
and
person.
talk to
Actually
them,
talk to them,
yeah, in person, and try to get that sorted out, because and that's how they get you, because it's like, we're gonna make you hesitate before.
That's so stupid.
It's
bro.
so dumb.
Well,
It's so dumb.
the one question I was asking myself, like, how and when did this all start? Like, the whole censorship and
I think this was after.
I think with tech companies.
Yeah, when personally for YouTube, that was when Susan Wojcicki. That's wild.
Wojcicki.
Wojcicki. Oh, okay. Susan Wojcicki. When she became CEO of YouTube in 2014, because that was when, what did they call it? The something. It was like You remember when YouTube got super big and they started demonetizing and deleting channels?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what I'm
I
talking
remember
about.
that. Yeah.
Right. There was a word for it that people were coining the terms, and a lot of big YouTubers I used to watch in high school.
Got
One that
killed.
you mentioned, Leafy is here, Nate's vlogs.
Yeah, he's gone.
What's the other one? Equals 3. A lot of
They
them,
all got-
they were all getting axed because of this lady right here.
Because of what they said back in the
Wow.
videos
Yeah.
from like 10.
Yeah.
And then it was crazy too because even people would start searching the old videos just to
report them.
Because even Philip DeFranco had got demonetized on one of his
Mhm.
old videos
His
when he
old
was like
videos.
early 20s.
When he was in his early 20s recording in his mom's house on a huge like camera setup.
Dude,
They went back because he was a lot more like he was young, you know what I'm saying? He was hot blooded. He was just like more crazy with the things that he said. But there was I was gonna say verite, but there was truth to what he said.
Yeah.
But
You see
it's
what I'm
just
saying?
like, I mean, do you really have nothing better to do with your life than literally stalk somebody's
A lot of people
entire
do.
Right.
That's
People
the
have
thing.
time.
People got time.
life?
People got
It's just
time,
like-
especially with internet. Like I said, they have these echo chambers, these places where they'll culminate, which is why you have concepts such as like the Beehive, like an entire cult for Beyonce. You see what I'm saying?
What?
Yes, yes, they
Some
will
Reddit
spin.
thread or something?
This is Reddit, Twitter. Yes, dude.
Yeah, and if you say
Yes.
anything negative, they're
Right,
gonna attack
which
you
is
right
where,
away,
like-
yeah.
What's the thing for the Kardashians? What's the
Sheesh.
thing called?
With the clones or some shit like that.
The
The clones.
The clones.
You see them everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You see them everywhere. They're all built the same. You know,
Yeah.
they all have
The
the same
clones.
face,
Yeah.
the same boob job, the same
The
butt
sa-
job,
yeah.
Brazilian butt lip. The
Yeah,
clones.
they clones.
You
yeah.
call them the clones.
I know a female YouTuber did a 14-minute
She
video
didn't
on
know it was 40 minutes.
40-minute video
Yeah.
on how
Exposing them.
Yeah,
yeah, she
exposing
was
them.
literally saying on how all women that get everything done look the same now. Like there's no originality anymore. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
She's onto something.
You
with
get
that.
you get
Yeah.
stan culture where it's like Eminem made a reference to that on an obsessed individual, a fanatic who was obsessed with, but now like it's spread to entire communities. Like you have a community of stans who worship these celebrities and these people, and any slight against them, any negative
Report.
comment towards them, they will pounce on you. They'll raid you. They will raid your channel.
They will swat you.
They will swat you. They will raid your YouTube. They will raid your Twitter. Report.
Burn you to the
Mass
ground.
report.
Yeah.
Get you banned off of Twitch. And it's crazy,
It's like
man.
4chan coming at you.
Yeah, dude. It's like once they deleted 4chan, they opened Pandora's box. Once they censored 4chan, they opened Pandora's box.
Now all those people gotta go somewhere.
Now they got to go somewhere. Now you release these crazies out into the wild, and they're gonna
Yeah.
find their counterparts and be like, "Oh, hey, you're from 4chan, you're from Tumblr, you're from Reddit, like old school
Yeah,
Reddit."
they're gonna find their
You see what I'm
buddies
saying?
again.
Yeah.
They're gonna band together, and then they'll take over the internet. Like,
Yeah.
and they're already at that point. So it's like now it's like it's not even just like one of it is woke culture, but now it's like stan culture too.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
It's like it's the worship of people.
Of people.
Yeah.
It's
what
the
it is.
worship,
It's the worship
people.
of people, or that's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Why would you?
That's what the internet has brought us. Worshiping individuals.
There's a fine line between admiring somebody and worshiping somebody.
And being obsessed with them, yeah.
Like,
There's-
I think it is really healthy, and I think it's very good to find somebody in life that you admire and kind of shape your life around them.
Right, kind of like a
Right.
role model
mentor.
or something like
Yeah.
that, or a mentor. Yeah,
Because
you know what I'm
somebody
saying?
you respect, somebody who it's like, I like how their life is. I want my life to be like that.
yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's fine. But, like, once you start to, like, once you believe that they are a different species than you,
That's
that-
all, that's
And they
They-
represent your entire
Existence.
demographic.
that
Like,
they're not just like you.
they're not like you. You
They don't-
separate them from you.
Yeah. It's, you become, it's
It's
make this weird
scary,
thing.
dude. It's scary, and that ties into the whole woke culture because it's
That
like
even goes into
cen-
politicians,
Into
too,
politicians,
though.
right.
And censorship, because
Yeah.
essentially you can't even put up any content, or you have to be careful what you say now.
Like, let's say I hate this actor's movie. All the stands of that actor are gonna drag me to hell. They'll drag me to hell. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? They'll mass report my page.
Or if you don't put Eminem in the top 5,
or in the top 5. Over the little,
their dumbest comment is, oh, that was the best song ever. You're trash. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
even though 70% of the majority agree with you, they're like, nah, that was the best song ever. It's like you can have an album that you like, but there's always going to be a song on there that you're not going to like, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're trash because all his songs are great. Right. All her songs are great. I mean,
we need a public apology.
You know what I feel like would have solved this problem? I feel like these people never got on an Xbox Live game. I feel like that would have shaped them up. I feel that's where boys became men.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. You knew so many things.
If you acted up, everybody was...
Oh, they flamed you. You learned so many things about your mom you didn't even know
Boy, I'm telling you.
Like...
You just became numb to it.
Yeah.
You just became numb to it.
But it's like...
you had to get that thick skin.
Yeah.
But it's like... but there's a cutoff for that. You know what I'm saying? And one critique I'll have about that is it's like... Okay... When we were growing up during that time, we were kids, right? So, like, there's an expectation of, okay, your ideals will mature, but you still want to have the freedom to,
be able to
express what you really want to say.
But not
you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you want to be like, fuck you, you know, like, that was pretty tame. But, you know, but, like...
Now you got to walk on eggshells with every little thing that comes out your mouth.
Because someone's going to have a stand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even like freaking Twitch streamers have thousands of stands. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if Twitch streamer gets in a beef with another Twitch streamer and calls someone out, like you'll have like a chat raids and shit. Like people are kill yourself. Or
that's insane.
It's insane, dude.
People divulge that amount of time and energy.
Bruh, they got time.
It's insane. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'll be on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? And it's like the people in my group with like, you know, computer science, tech, NFTs, crypto and stuff like that. Like they'll get into fights with each other and I'm just like
I know.
What the hell? Why? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a combination of a couple things. I think like one of the things it is like the way things are marketed, it's marketed towards like I'll give you an example, like Twilight. Right?
Yeah.
It was marketed as Team Edward or Team Jacob.
Right.
You guys remember that?
Right. Team Edward, Team Jacob.
And that was a really big
That was a big thing.
Like, strategy.
Team Jacob, by the way.
Honestly,
I got that man laughing.
But then it goes...
Or like Apple, Microsoft. Literally the legal battles, the lawsuits going at, like if you had a window... like.
If you had Apple or Android.
It wasn't just the people. It was the way, like, it was marketed. It was like, if you don't have this... Or, like, Sega, Nintendo. Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah.
Sega does what Nintendo don't. Yeah. And going back... Even what you said, because that just came to my head.
Or PlayStation and Xbox.
I thought you were bringing up, like, the whole Apple versus Android. But before that, it was Apple versus Microsoft. Remember when those two guys would walk on screen?
Yeah.
And then, like,
I'm Apple.
would be like...
I'm Microsoft.
Yeah. No, Microsoft would be in a business...
I'm Mac. I'm Mac.
That was a fire commercial.
Yeah, he'd be in a business suit, and then Apple was like some hippie guy or some shit like that. And they'd shit... I'm like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on, man? And it's permeated throughout everything.
Yeah.
In everything. Politics, culture... You know, like and it's everywhere, and it's like, why? Like, why can't there be nuance to just regular everyday ideas, to independent thought and opinions and shit like that?
You know what's another weird thing too? My brother brought this up to me. He's older than me. He's in his 30s. And he's like, when I was younger, it was weird because like when I was younger, like your grandparents had a certain viewpoint,
Right.
and you just
Of course.
respected it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just respect.
You
right.
never
Just
questioned it.
Right.
You didn't come at them. You didn't attack them. It's just you knew what they believed, and you just that
It is what it is. That's
is.
what it is. You know what I'm saying?
And Jason goes, he's like, now though, you are obligated to attack them and tell them that what they're thinking
They're
is
wrong.
It's even
Yeah.
in kids' media now too.
And I think that comes from colleges, universities.
Right.
I've seen so many times normal fucking kids, a lot of them females, normal fucking kids, where they grow up in either it'll be a Christian home or not even a Christian home, just like any type of home, right? They don't believe any of the stuff that normally most people believe when they go to universities. But then they go to the university for like 1 to 2 years and they come back completely different people.
different.
Yep.
Completely different mindsets. Like
different.
they're angry, they're spiteful, they're always trying to prove you wrong.
Mhm.
They're always trying to like
Yeah.
fix things in a
PC way, political correct way.
not just that. It's this belief that they masquerade with this sense of compassion and sense
It's
of
like false compassion.
empathy
Right.
when really what's driving it is envy.
Gotcha.
Really, it's
Absolutely.
envy that's pushing you to do these things, but you're bullshitting and saying that really I care about the planet, or really I care about this and that. It's like
Could
you
you-
don't like the poor, you just hate the rich.
Right. Exactly.
There's a difference.
It's a difference. It's a difference. Do you think it's like I don't, not just virtue signaling, but it's like that appearance. You want to appear like this good person. You see what I'm saying? Because no one is truly good.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
one is truly
Yin and yang, yin and yang.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So like when
We
I
all got
see,
skeletons.
yeah, we all got. When I see these people caping on the internet, bro, just go to Wayback Machine. All right, there's your tweet. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Wayback.
it's really that easy.
Yeah,
That's how
it
you
is.
just expose these people. Just go to the Wayback Machine. You'll find something.
Way
You
back
see what I'm saying?
machine.
But that's also why, like, in understanding that too, that's why we also have to like chill out when it
Right.
comes to people. Like
Mhm.
I think also the reason why where a lot of this stems from is the belief that people are good.
That's the problem.
I think that's a
the
major problem, and I think we're seeing the problem with that. Because if you think that people are good, you think that inherent, like, to say that you're good. You know what I mean?
There's
Like,
only
to-
one man who was
Yeah.
truly good,
You know
and
what I
that's Jesus Christ himself.
And even if you don't believe that,
Right.
nobody's good. Like, if he didn't exist, no one's
No
good.
one's good.
No one's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's
Like,
no
not
one's
even
good.
Gandhi.
Yeah.
Gandhi's a human being just like you and I was.
Mhm.
And even Gandhi would be the first one to tell you that I'm no better than
I'm
you
no better,
are.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But like for some reason we've got this belief that we're actually good and like we're the good guy. I think it's a lot of like superhero movies or Disney movies where there's a good person and they're only good. They
Nah.
have no bad part about them.
And I think that's why,
And
well, sorry for interrupting, but I think that's why in the film Man of Steel, why so many fanboys were so upset when Superman popped Zod's neck.
Zod's
because they're
neck,
like, he's
right.
a Boy Scout, he's all good, he never killed.
It's like
And I feel like
Bitch,
that's
how many
what
times does he
Zack
fly into a
Snyder-
building?
right. How many people? Billions.
Yes, let's empty it
Billions.
first before I go through it. Come
You
on,
think everyone
man.
got out there?
but you're mad that he killed an alien? Really? What the
It's not even human. Oh man, that's nuts.
Yep.
But
So-
it's like, but and that's what it does. It traps these, and I'll even say this with the celebrities, because it's like you put this outward appearance of you being this all good, and it's like now people are gonna worship you and hold you to that standard. So
yeah.
you can't make.
And look what happened with Will Smith. That was
Yeah.
the perfect example. They held him
Dude,
to a higher
yes.
standard, and then when he started
Yeah.
breaking, even
when he's finally showing how human he
He
is,
is. People
No,
don't like
they
him.
reject him.
Yes.
They don't
They
like
shit on him.
Yep.
And it's like,
What did you expect?
what did you expect?
He's
You
human.
thought he was gonna be I Am Legend? Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
24/7? Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like that's not how that works, and it's like, and it's sad, and then they'll throw out, well, he's a role model, and it's like, what are you doing? You see what I'm saying? It's like it's like, okay, I'm a bad person. He's good, so he will die. He will die on whatever stage for whatever bad thing I believe in, and I'll persecute him for that when I believe those things in behind closed doors.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like when I see this, and I'll call it faux outrage. When I see this outrage, it's like, where does it stem from? Because in your pursuit for all good and all righteousness, you're going after people. You're saying evil shit. And like, it'll get to the point where, well, you don't believe in the goodness of this person. You deserve to die. What is going on? Like,
I think,
where's the disconnect there?
and I think like, it's a weird thing. Like, I'll bring up this one verse, and I think it's a really important verse with just like life itself. Like, there was a point where there was a prostitute, not a prostitute, but like she got caught cheating, right? And under the Mosaic law, you were supposed to stone her, all right? So the Pharisees come up to Jesus, and they're trying to put him in the spot. They're trying to be like, well, they try to put him in a spot saying like, well, this is what the law says, and you're supposed to be God, so you're supposed to follow this law. So, and even though you do follow the law, everybody's going to see you murder this woman. So people are going to look at you weird. Either way you go about it.
You go about it, right?
But, so instead of choosing either of the options, he goes, let him who has no sin cast the first stone.
Yes, sir.
What was interesting was the oldest people walked away first. The youngest people walked away last.
Damn. That's crazy.
So, the one thing I took from that was, like, the difference in mindset on judgment with people.
Yeah.
Because I think that that's, like, a really important thing about, like, just religion itself, is I feel like religion humbles people.
Yes.
It teaches people to realize that at the end of the day, you are not who you think you are. If you have an ego, you're not who you think you are. And if you don't have any type of ego, you're more than who you think you are. It gives you a sense of, in the best way, like, it humbles you more than anything else.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you realize that, like, holy shit, like, I do all these awful things. It forces you to look at a mirror. So it's like, before I attack this person, like, I got to think about all the things I did. And if I did something even remotely similar, then it's like, well, I can't really say anything about it.
Right.
I can't say something about it, but I have to go about it in a different way, in a loving way. Where it's like, look, I know that I do this too, and I'm at fault, but it's like, I know where this is going to end for both of us if we continue doing this. Like, I'm trying my best to stop. Like, I just want you to know that, like, if you continue going down this is where we're going to end up.
The end game, yeah.
It's a different...
Yeah.
It's the same message, but it's different. And I feel like that kind of message actually gets people to change.
Yeah.
Because then, like, my dad said this to me, I'll never forget it. People don't care about what you say unless they know that you care about them.
That's facts.
Like, you can say anything to anybody, and if they don't think that you give two shits about them, they're not going to listen to what
They're not
you
going to
say.
listen to what you're saying.
Exactly.
And it's like, can you blame them?
Yeah. Right. That's facts.
Yeah.
So,
That's facts.
Damn.
Yeah, man. But it's weird, man, and it's like we have the internet and we're just stuck with it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like, how do you condition society to, like, disconnect from that shit?
Pull a surrogate.
You saw that's trash. Bro.
It's the
so
movie. It's the movie.
trash. I hate that.
Oh man.
The concept, the idea of
I think we're kind of already starting that.
how so?
There's a trend that's starting of a lot of young people are throwing away their smartphones, and they're only using flip phones.
Oh wow.
So in their minds, a flip phone can still do everything that you need in society, because really all you need to text and call people.
Right.
You can do that. You don't really need any of the other stuff on your phone.
No.
To do even to work in 6-figure jobs, you don't need all that stuff. So a lot of these young people have started this way where they just use flip phones because they're tired of spending the amount of time that they were spending on a phone. And because they only use flip phones, they don't really use TV anymore. They don't really use...
Yeah, because they have the subscription apps.
Right.
Once you get rid of the main source, the other things aren't really as appealing anymore.
Right. You can separate your time for other things.
So I do think that, at least with the younger generation, I think there's a push against it. Because I don't think a lot of young people, I feel like
There's hope with the young people right now, bro.
they feel like they're stuck in a box.
Yeah, they're in a box.
Yeah.
They're in a box, and this box was here before them, and it sucks because it's like the way the trajectory the world is headed in. It's like we're putting all our faith on the younger generation.
Yep.
And that's not a burden. You want to, you know what I'm saying?
You wanna
just
put on the
keep
kid.
passing
Just like the boomers,
buck,
the
you know what I'm
boomers
saying?
did with millennials.
Right, you just keep passing the buck. Like, notice how the world leaders continue to get older with their generation. You see what I'm saying?
That's right. A lot of them have been there for like 50, 60,
50,
plus
60
years.
years. Like,
What
they
the hell?
get older with the generation who's keeping them in their positions, voting them in, who hold most of the power, who hold most of the weight and the money and the finance,
Yep.
you know, in the world. And it's like, you know...
Which is why when the vaccine did come out for the vid, who did they get? Who got it first? The older generation. Even though, because the one thing I tell my brother is, well, why wouldn't they give it to younger generations? And then he gave me a couple examples, risk management. But then again, too,
That's your base.
that's your base.
That's
your
who's
that's
putting
the
you
future.
in power.
Exactly. And then on top of that, he said, well, you have the majority of the older generation. So the older generation is who votes, is the older generation who
hold most of the wealth.
Yep, all that stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that's why they put them first, even though they've lived their lives
Right.
compared to the young.
Which is why Social Security was built for that generation.
Yep, not for us.
And not for anyone else.
Nope.
You see what I'm saying?
We're
It
living
will
way-
only benefit them until...
We're living way too long.
You see what I'm saying?
We're living way
We're living way longer. You
Yeah.
think? Come on.
Yeah, because wasn't Social Security set up for like the normal age of death was like 60
Yeah, now
when
it's
it like was first set up.
Mhm.
now it's 65.
And because not many people live to that age,
It
it's only a
worked just
select
fine.
few. Right. It worked fine. You see what I'm saying? But now older people are living longer. There's medicines advancing. You know what I'm saying? There's
Technology.
is advancing. They're on the cusp of cures for HIV, AIDS. They're on the especially with this whole mRNA thing.
They're
You know,
really gonna
CRISPR.
cure it.
I mean, I would say they do have it. It's just they can't profit off of it.
I feel like they've had it for a minute.
They've-
Bro.
Well,
I
look
just
at Magic
haven't figured
Johnson.
out.
Come on.
Come
That
on.
Magic
Yeah,
died a long time
Magic
ago.
Magic Johnson living his
he had
whole
had
life, bro.
full blown AIDS and he's still
Full-blown.
alive. Not HIV. He had full blown
Full-blown,
AIDS
bro.
and he's still alive.
What the heck?
Kicking,
that's true.
breathing.
Yeah.
That's
Come
wild,
on.
man. You know what I'm saying?
It's how they make a profit out of it. If they can't make money off of it, they're not gonna bring it out, or they're gonna take their time, or they come out with that pill, that commercial that they kept playing on YouTube. Oh, the pill that prevents you from passing on HIV.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
They do have it. They just don't want to.
Oh yeah. If it'll get your readings to like 0.1%.
Yeah.
Like you'll still have the virus.
Yeah.
But like it'll be like
So they'll tell you to still use
undetectable.
they'll tell you to still use protection, but it's 0.1%. So like I said, they have it.
So you're still giving it to people.
Yeah, if you
So that don't mean shit.
Okay, true.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like shit like that where I'm watching videos now and it's like now like all right. But it's
Yeah, he's like, nah, we're not going down that
I don't want to
rabbit
go down that road. But it's just that, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, why do we have to put the responsibility of that? Like, bro, we've literally been watching Lake Mead dry up for the past 5-6 years. It's at its lowest levels in history.
Like what?
Lake Mead? Oh, bro, you gotta see this. This is wild.
Is it
So
like mead?
So we're running out of fresh water.
Of course we are. Let's go live in the mountains.
Water level.
I wouldn't be opposed to being.
And the craziest thing ever is while the water levels have been dropping, they've been finding like dead bones and shit.
Oh.
So you've been drinking dead people.
So
Oh wow. It was up
Wow,
there.
that dropped.
yep, it was. Wait, what? Where was that image?
That really dropped.
Here we go.
Where's this located? at?
November 2000.
Holy
This
shit.
is June 2021.
So it's only been.
And we're losing water. Yes, my guy. This is going to affect agriculture for populations in the deserts.
Recession.
So the way they control their water consumption, it's kind of like a bank.
Okay.
So you can take out a loan for water.
What?
Yes. So you have a certain amount of water you can use annually. You can take water.
Look at David looking at you like you're crazy.
You can
Stop
take
it.
your whatever city
Hold
or
on, Brian, they're
whatever.
gonna-
Yeah. So pretty much what's been happening, you understand the concept. You can loan water in advance. You can take an advance of water, but you have to replenish that. It has to be
And
replenished.
how can you do that?
And we've
you know what the next step is? To do it with air.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
They're gonna
we're gonna
figure
put a
it
Lorax.
We're
gonna put a Lorax.
Canned air.
Stupider. The dumbest shit I ever heard. Really? Really?
Yep, I told you. We heading there. Canned air.
This shit's wild, man.
Like,
and
you're
they've been
breathing
taking
it, yeah.
more water than can be replenished, and now we're in a drought. Now we're in a drought.
What if these motherfuckers just stole the water and hid it? And then it's just
Which is
like-
probably what they're doing.
What's gonna be nuts is when I see someone go to jail for stealing fresh water. That's when I know it's time to pack it up, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go to the bunker.
Yep.
We're fighting over fresh water.
Yo, that's it. Resources.
Resources.
It's like
And-
Waterworld, where there was salt water
There was
everywhere.
Salt
Yep.
water everywhere.
Yep.
There was no fresh water. Yeah, man. So it's like you see what's happening, like ecologically. You see what I'm saying? Like, look at what is happening. Famine in Sri Lanka. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, Sri Lanka was insane.
Sri Lanka's getting hyped right now.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying?
Insane.
So it's like, what happens next? And this is what these kids have to deal with
When they get older.
when
yeah.
they get older.
Not only are they not retiring, but they got.
We were swimming in Lake Mead for years, generations. Now people won't even know. They'll call it Mead Valley now.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll be Mead Valley
Like the
now.
Grand Canyon.
Like the Grand Canyon.
Wow.
All of that was underwater at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're not getting it back.
Yeah.
Ice caps are melting. We're not getting that back.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So now these kids have to deal with these mass food shortages. You see what I'm saying? Mass food shortages, grain and sugar and stuff like that. Agriculture is going to be affected. What happens next?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You have the Thwaites Glacier that's expected to melt by 2035. That'll raise sea levels 10 meters. 10 meters. Go to Fort Myers Beach. There's a couple hotels on the water. About 5-6 years ago,
Yeah.
the shore was about, I'd say, 800 yards away. Now it's literally washing
That's why they're
up
starting to build seawalls
on their
Yeah.
on their doorstep. Why do you think seawalls businesses are blowing up in
Blowing
Florida?
up. Yeah, because they're rebuilding. Because
You
I
see?
had a stock clerk named David. That was his father does build seawalls. for Fort Myers
Seawalls.
Beach,
That's
so
a booming business
Yeah,
in Florida
it
now.
is.
Building seawalls to protect people's beach homes and properties,
Yep.
to protect businesses who are out on the water and the keys and stuff like that.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like, this shit is happening now. Like, this is the shit I used to see back when I was in grade school and they were showing us a Bill Nye the Science Guy
Video,
episode.
yeah.
And he was talking about global warming. You know what I'm saying?
But it's not real.
And they're showing us these cinematic, super powerful storms, wildfires everywhere, sea levels rise, droughts, famine, and now I'm literally watching it.
Yeah.
They predicted our future, and nothing was done about it because it was like, we'll just pass it on. We still got more money to make off of oil. We still got more money to make on exploiting land and shit like that.
You know what's funny about global warming? Do you know where the term carbon footprints come from? You know who created that term?
Was it the guy who did the Inconvenient Truth?
It was
No,
It's-
no. It's if it's
what's the green oil company? The Green Star?
Exxon. No, BP.
It was BP or Exxon. One of them actually came up
BP.
with that.
BP.
Kind of like the whole carbon neutral.
So this is the weird thing about global warming. So now I don't like. I definitely agree with you with everything that you said with that, and that's honestly depressing. Bro,
That's
just looking at
tragic,
that.
man. This is tragic.
But this is the weird thing about global warming, right? So, especially with like carbon footprints, right?
Mhm.
So that term was coined and created by an oil company, one of the biggest oil companies out there.
Yeah.
Right? So not only did they come up with that term, they came up with a system on how you can tell how you yourself and your friends and neighbors are, like how to track their carbon footprints. So think about it, boys. Instead of you blaming the people who should be at most blamed for these things, oil companies,
They'll pit
we
you
all
against each other.
bitch at each other.
Yeah,
it was like
Taylor Swift.
Yo, the whole internet
like,
railed
oh
on
my
her.
God.
Be in mind,
her carbon
there are like
footprint's huge.
high-level officials, country leaders, and stuff, like in these companies burning metric tons
Of
of
jet
gas,
fuel.
and they're watching how many trips Taylor Swift takes on her private jet. You took 3 trips on your private jet today.
And then they're reading these they're reading these comments on YouTube and online, and I'm like, damn, you really have no
These
time
people are
for
losing their
yes
minds.
over carbon
They're losing
footprints.
their
Like, who are you?
minds.
Not only that, the World Economic Forum 13 days ago, swear to God, they literally came out and said that they want to get rid of private ownership for vehicles.
For vehicles, yes.
You
Ooh,
know why? To get rid of fucking carbon footprints.
carbon footprint. Ooh, and
But
New York just passed
And
it.
it's just like, this is my thing, bro, right? Okay, I understand that there's a lot of things that I do that do cause that, right? I can admit that. But don't sit here and try to tell me that I am doing anywhere near the damage that a fucking oil company or any of these people who have private jets fly.
Yeah.
Just one private jet,
Just one
bro.
private
jet.
All of that shit going into the sky.
Yep.
My car, like,
Bruh.
me going to work, bro.
That's how they get you,
Yeah,
man.
no, yeah,
That's how they
get
keep
you.
their hands clean. They're like, it's your neighbor.
Yeah.
Fuck you, I'm
Your
not buying a
neighbors-
Tesla.
Let's misdirect it.
Yeah, mislead them.
let's mislead
Attack
them.
your neighbor. Don't attack us.
Yeah.
So
Attack
it's
your
like,
neighbor.
notice how now we can't even fix the problem, right?
No, it's too late.
Because
Too late.
we have, because beforehand I used to be the person who didn't believe in global warming whatsoever, and I didn't believe in global warming not because of any type of evidence, but specifically because of shit like that. When
Yeah.
it came to the oil companies
Right.
and all of that shit. That's why I instantly looked at global warming and I'm like, this is just the greatest scam in history.
Oh,
of
yeah.
Earth.
Oh, yeah.
But then I see things like this and I'm like, okay, there's definitely 100% like this is a crisis. But the thing is, the people who are telling us and the people who are screaming about the crisis the most seem to also be the people who are contributing
The
most to
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
it's
sir.
like we can't even
Yes,
group
sir.
together and figure out, okay, how can we actually solve this problem instead of just trying to figure out how you guys can make more money off of this problem.
Yeah, they don't care because
I'm
they're all
telling
going to
you,
Mars.
There's going to be a fight.
Yeah, bro.
Yes,
They're all going to
either
Mars.
all going to Mars. Yep, that's
They're
facts.
going to Mars or they're going underground.
Or they're going underground. Or they're going to fight over Antarctica. Maybe not in our lifetime, but why do you think Antarctica is so off limits?
You've seen that giant ice wall
Mhm.
that literally spans throughout, it doesn't end.
It doesn't end.
Also, there's a treaty signed by 169 nations right after World War II that nobody can go to Antarctica. No one.
That's
Why?
Wow.
Why? It's the middle. It's nothing, right? Why?
Hollow
What's behind there?
That's
See, dude, I don't
true.
even know. You know what? Maybe because the
Yeah.
thing is, like, why are they blocking it off?
Why are they blocking it
It's
off?
just a bunch of ice. You don't.
But
they
you'll
don't
get-
give a shit
but-
if people die out there.
They don't.
Again, too,
They
you'll
don't.
get shot down if you even try to figure that out.
Yeah, why?
But here's the thing, too. That's free territory. Once all this ice, because before, continental drift and all that shit, Antarctica used to be the lush Greenland with forests and shit like that and blah, blah, blah. Or, that's just the scientific explanation. Or there's some type of resource or some shit in here that...
There's something there.
There's
bro.
something
Yeah, there's
there.
There's
something
something there.
There's something there.
You don't have all of that. I mean, like it's
Guarding
the only,
and
it's
there's
the
something
only
there, yeah.
place that no one can go to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's facts.
It's the only place in the world that absolutely nobody can go to.
Yeah, I think military will escort you out.
Or shoot
Ships
you down.
will shoot you down.
Probably just shoot you.
Yeah.
No evidence. We're good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
just sink your boat. No one's gonna know.
So it's like, regardless if global warming was caused by us or it's just the natural carbon cycle of the Earth, something is happening. Shit
Yes.
is changing.
Yes.
So we can't ignore that. You see what I'm
I
saying?
definitely agree with you. Yeah.
Fuck what the cause is, because it's too late. If we
we can't fix it.
If there
It's
was a
too late.
prevention for it, yeah, let's move on from that.
Well, but this is the thing, though, right? Let's say because, like, this is such a dicey problem that we can't just come up with a solution and then it not work.
And then not.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't
You get what
wanna
I'm saying?
Put too much money.
Because
in,
like
right.
this is the thing, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So, the way what I've seen the way life works is literally like even if you had good intentions, if you implement everybody to do something, right? It could have the most disastrous consequences, and it could fuck up people's lives in so many ways that you had absolutely no way of knowing beforehand. So the thing is, and that seems to happen pretty much constantly throughout history of
Right.
just little changes that people do. So the thing is, like, this, like, the way that we combat this, is it in a way that we're destroying more lives than we're saving? Or is it actually in a way that we're actually trying to genuinely
Save
fix
lives.
the problem?
And
save the
can
problem?
anyone benefit? Can everyone benefit from that solution?
But
That's the thing, too.
That's the
Who's
thing, too.
benefiting
Who's
from the
benefit
solution
from
and
the
how much
And
are they
of course-
benefiting from?
Of course, it's not going to be the little people
And it's
benefiting
not
from
gonna
it.
be the
It's
guy-
not. Unfortunately,
exactly.
that's what it is.
Exactly. The little people are the end user, and they're going to be the ones to suffer the most. Those who don't have access to the information and the technology that they're using to do that shit.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, notice how all of this is happening, and you see a lot of the major powers consolidating their resources to themselves. You see what I'm saying? Which is why we haven't tapped into our oil reserves.
Mhm.
We're buying it off of everyone. Because
Yep.
we know there's going to be a point in time where
They're not going to have any more oil.
they're not going to have
Yeah.
any more oil.
You know what I think? Another thing that I feel like they're doing when it comes to this whole the global warming thing. Look up the glass wall in Saudi Arabia. There's this giant, like 9-mile long, just line of like a massive city they're gonna build.
Oh,
In Saudi
I
Arabia.
know what you're
You're talking about that stupid
the
line? Oh,
Bro,
Jesus.
the line. Look at it. There it is.
The
Right there.
line,
That's
yeah.
the line. Right there.
That's nuts.
So this is my thing. Right?
Why?
That's
Well,
what-
okay, so hear me out. This is what I think's going on. So the World Economic Forum, one thing that they're trying to accomplish is, like, you could call me conspiracy theorists for this, but like these motherfuckers are genuinely trying to control everything. They
Oh,
want to
yeah.
own all land, all water, all resources, all minerals, all people, everything. So, but I think this is what's going on, right?
That's crazy.
How do you control everything? Right? How do you control everybody's resources, everything without people fucking with you?
Keep people out.
Not just that, you scare the fuck
You
out of them.
scared? Oh, that's
You
facts.
get everybody
That's
so
facts.
afraid of the outside
Fear.
world, and
Yeah.
then you get them to, like, you get people to
Fear is
want
control.
to be into things
In
like
this,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
You make
you
it look
get-
nice. and
Like
shiny.
Matt Damon in Elysium.
I was
Whatever.
gonna say this some Elysium
Yeah.
shit.
But think
yeah.
about it, right?
Yeah.
If you can get pretty much the entire population into one concentrated area, everywhere else is a playground.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Nobody's going to do anything.
Oh,
Nobody
they
can
can't-
stop
They
you.
can't stop you. You're stuck
They're too
there.
afraid to leave the
Right.
goddamn thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like this is like
This is where we're headed.
we're going
Yeah.
to.
That's where we're headed.
Jeez.
That's why you
crazy.
hear all these things talk about like green cities or
Yeah,
Or
like, I
it's
just...
and then they show you these hyper futuristic building and stuff like that, and it's like that's bullshit.
nuts.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's nuts.
But I mean, like, dude, who would want to live in a goddamn line?
That's weird.
That's a line.
Unless it's for the next
Man. It's
generation.
gonna be exclusive.
Yeah.
I can already tell. I can.
No, they want to fit, like, hold on, look up how many people they want to fit in there.
Yeah.
Unless they want,
It's cool.
unless it's like Love, Death, Robots, where the millionaires can only afford that, but the billionaires
Oh,
and
yeah.
trillions can afford the moon, and then of course the
And
the
moon.
quadrillionaires will live
Mars.
on Mars.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man,
That's it.
And
That's
then
how.
we plebs stay on the earth.
Yeah.
oh,
Yep.
bro,
In a
Yeah,
line.
good luck, guys.
that's
We're in a glass line.
nuts, man. How
Isn't
much?
that
How
just the
many?
stupidest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, okay. So, wait, it should have like population.
Estimated
What
building
estimated
cost
profit?
at
Look
the
at how they're
U.S.
trying to make it sound good.
Okay,
saying the jobs that
So
we-
it's expected to have 9 million residents,
9 million people.
110 miles across, because it's all condensed like living. Like some instances, you will never even touch the ground. Like you can walk across. All buildings are
Oh, yeah,
interconnected.
that's
Ah, okay,
yeah,
okay.
all the buildings are interconnected.
So if you die, that's it.
Right. They'll probably put like some high speed train. If you want to escape, you gotta.
Jump on the high-speed train.
Oh man.
80-20.
And it's only gonna cost them 200 up to $200 billion. That's nuts.
Estimated as high as 1 trillion.
That's nuts. That's what happens when you have like, what do you call it, oligarchies and shit like that. You could just sign shit away. Just sign it away, You know what I'm saying? It's your money to play with, technically.
Yeah.
No, but I think that thing's insane.
That's insane, man.
So, David, what's this we hear about Wiki trying to change the word recession?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Wikipedia literally changed.
That's crazy.
Because the definition of a recession is in 2 quarters, it goes down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in 2 consecutive quarters, your GDP goes down. If that happens, you're in a recession. And they actually changed the definition. And they're trying to say that we're not in a recession. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it seem
Oh, wow.
like
I clicked on the wiki and it took me to... All right, hold on. Let me click on that. Hold on. Okay.
He's about to read, guys.
We're going to read this.
Get ready.
Let's see what this is.
And they limited the amount of people. Oh, they increased the steps you have to take to be an editor on Wikipedia.
Okay, so not anybody can just change whatever on
Right. So in economics, a recession is a business cycle contraction when there's a general decline in economic activity. I love how they use general. I love how they just threw that in there. Recessions generally occur, there it goes again, generally occur when there was a widespread drop in spending and adverse demand shock. This may be triggered by various events such as a financial crisis, an external trade shock, an adverse supply shock, the bursting of an economic bubble, or large-scale anthropogenic or natural disaster. So where do we start with that, man?
Well, we have to acknowledge that we're in a recession.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
We are.
But because the president says we're not, a lot of people, most, think that we're not.
Because he can't... Because his image is already as... I don't think it can get any worse. It's just so bad that, like, now they just got a lot. You know what I mean? Like, nothing...
Yeah.
Everything he touches at this point is literally turning into flames. Especially with the sun incident that came. Like, it's all coming down.
It's all coming.
And he
So now
still
they
wants
just
to
gotta
run
make shit up.
2024?
Bro, even Democrats
He's just
are
gotta
telling
say
him...
that. I don't think he's...
Even Democrats are telling him, don't run. They're like, bro, you're going to die in office.
You're
You're going to die. Bro, you know how they do the presidential parade? It's literally going to be them in his casket. What the fuck, bro? It'll be his casket down Pennsylvania Avenue. Like, come on, man.
Jeez.
What is going on, bro? Like, this is a joke. This is a joke, man.
Damn.
And it's
It
like...
feels like our country's become, man. Just a fucking...
Yeah, but like... What can you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, they have such a big foot.
Yeah.
Prime example, right? I don't condone what happened January 6th at the Capitol. But there were some instances, there was an instance where they were interviewing one of the Capitol police and people who worked in there. And he said, we were, I would say, about 15 minutes away from a massacre.
Wow.
He said that himself. So if he had to choose between letting the people in and
killing all of them.
Or killing all of them. And he said it would have been a massacre if they got into, the main hall. You see what I'm saying? Like, do you understand how easy at the drop of a hat
He can just, yeah.
everything would have went down?
Yeah.
We would have seen a massacre of American civilians, regardless of what they were doing. It doesn't
then
even
shit would have
shot American
civilians.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then the shit really would
Do
went
you
down in this
understand
entire
how?
country.
And then that stuck with me, because I'm like, when shit hits the fan, they are willing to drop bodies to save themselves.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And it literally would have been the American people versus the government.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can you really do? What can you really do?
Yeah.
Well, think about it. I think the only way to do something about it is you have to get everybody unified. Because if you think about it like this, let's take COVID for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
COVID, when it came to any of the restrictions, any of the lockdowns, any of the rules that they made, notice how the police weren't out in the streets enforcing us to do that shit.
No.
Nope.
Who was it? It was our neighbors.
our neighbors.
It was the grocery
That's
store
facts.
people.
Yeah.
It was our
Mhm.
boss.
Mm-hmm.
It was our friends,
Mm-hmm. That's
family.
Yeah, companies.
Yeah.
You know, you go into your grandma's house and she's freaking out, and you have to wear a mask. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
we were policing each other.
Yeah.
We were making like,
we were holding each other accountable, right?
and that really made me realize something, that genuinely no government really has the power. Like, yeah, you have airstrikes and you have
You have
nukes.
the military.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you have airstrikes and you have nukes, but at the end of the day, if you just end up killing everybody, number one, you're not going to have those nukes and you're not going to have those resources because you're not going to have truckers.
Mhm.
You're not going to have people to work in supply chains.
No.
If you just end up killing them all, if you destroy their hope where there's no point, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter how big of a gun you have.
Mhm.
If you push people to a certain point, it's not going to matter.
But
So,
But what makes it easier for them to do that is they separate us.
they separate, and
Yep.
that's
Yep.
that
Separate
is
us.
the only, and that's what I feel like is just like the key thing we're missing. Like,
It's
the only
yeah.
thing that is stopping us from actually fixing things and making things better is to stop bickering and fighting with each other and realize what the fuck these people are doing.
Right.
Yeah.
We're playing into their whatever
We're
they're
Their
being
game.
played.
We're being played.
We're all puppets.
We're
Chess
all-
pieces on the board.
You see what I'm saying?
And
So it's
wait,
like-
another.
Go
sorry,
ahead. Go ahead.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this was probably like one of the hardest things for me to learn. I remember there's a verse in the Bible, and Paul was talking about he was talking to Jews and Gentiles. I don't remember if he was in Rome when he was saying this, but essentially the verse was, he was talking about how your battle is not with people. Like, we do not war against the flesh. We war against
Yeah.
principalities, powers that be in the air. And that was interesting to me
That
because, like, I never really understood that until I got older. Because I saw this one video and it was beautiful. It was these pigs in these suits, and they were just eating up all this food, right? There was these little cats that were kittens, and they were like starving. They were
Yeah.
supposed to represent the people. The pigs were supposed to represent
The fat cats.
politicians.
Yeah.
But this was interesting. One of the cats went under the table and noticed that all those politicians were chained up. And they were chained up to this chain, and it was a snake. And what happened was the cat eventually, they all ran out of food, the pigs. So then eventually when everything went to shit, the cat turned into a tiger and then started attacking the pigs. But the pigs are chained up, they can't do anything. So that's what made me realize that, like, look, at the end of the day, this isn't a person problem.
No.
There's something deeper behind this.
Yeah.
Some deeper.
Yeah.
There's some, like, at the end of the day, like, there's an intrinsic, like, evil force behind each human being. It's not the person itself. Like,
What-
there is a force.
What drives them to do what they do?
I would say, so my closest belief to that is the adversary that the Bible would call Satan, the devil,
the
sin
devil.
itself.
Sin itself, because we are born into it, right?
And it's what's like really interesting like about that is like that was like really big to me though, because like Paul was telling me that, like, look, even though you look at these people as evil, and even though these people are evil just like you are,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day you have to realize like the force and the compromised situation that they're in. And like, if you were in their situation, you really think you'd be doing better than them? Like, you really think you would?
That's true.
That's the thing. Like, if you were put in their shoes, you really think you would do better than them?
No.
Like, you think you would be more morally superior
I
than
doubt
them?
it. No,
No.
It's
I don't think so.
and that was a big thing for me to understand, because it's like, whoa, it's easy for me to make these claims and be like, well, I wouldn't do that.
Mhm.
But it's like, if I were put in their shoes and like having to deal with the things that they had to deal with, it's like, would I really?
Right.
You know?
That's
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah. That makes
That's
sense.
yeah, man. So like, think about that. That's a scary thought, because it's like it's like you wouldn't bat an eye when what was it? You wouldn't bat an eye when someone kills your enemy or something like that. But it was like a Proverbs during a lot of people who were against the massacring of the Jews, where they were like,
The Holocaust?
yeah, the Holocaust. And they'll come for your neighbors and no one will speak for them. They'll come for your enemies and no one will speak for them. and then they'll come for you, and no one will speak for you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no one will
right.
speak for you.
Yeah.
Because you didn't speak for anybody
Because you didn't
else.
speak for
Anybody else, and that's why
You see what I'm
again
saying?
with the trolley problem, why we said
It's
you're not
like-
saying nothing.
You saying nothing, you doing nothing.
It's
the
still an
same.
answer.
You're still complicit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like that's how they get you. And now that we have a lot of these politicians who, especially the younger ones, who understand how it works up there, but they understand how these kids think. They understand how we as a society, the younger generation, think, and how we use the internet, and they can infiltrate those ideologies
Yep.
in there.
Which they're doing.
You see what I'm saying?
Which they're
They can
doing.
infiltrate those ideologies in there, and it's not even just okay, you know, like it's not just okay. Get away from the people who believe that. It's like it's in your everyday life.
Yeah. Can't
We
avoid it.
humans want, and because we want, we will. You know, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. We want, like
So we
period.
consume.
Yeah.
We consume. We're in an age where like I believe capitalism is dead. We're just consumers. This is consumerism.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Capitalism is dead. We're just consumers, and like we put all of our faith in these mega corporations to provide us with happiness and a good way of life.
Yep.
And to go against that is an inconvenience.
The
and it will
latest and
bring
greatest.
us- right. You see what I'm saying? It'll bring us in, put us in a place where it's not what we believe is true happiness.
Mhm.
Dude, this is a weird thing that. Tell me what you guys think about this. So, like, happiness, I think
It's a
For-
dream.
it's such a stupid thing to strive for.
It's a dream.
Personally, I think it is no different than the wind itself.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
here one day, it's gone the next.
It's
Yeah,
on
of
the
course.
next. Yes, sir.
And it's like what I think what made me get to that point of thinking was like before my father passed away, I used to think that like the best thing in life was to achieve happiness, to get my goals, and to just get what I wanted.
Mhm.
Right? I thought it was all selfish gain.
Mm.
Right? Then once like that incident happens, then it's like, oh shit. You know what I mean? It's like things change after that. You
They don't matter as much.
yeah, think like you start like everybody goes through a point where it's like you really realize like what actually matters and like what actually
Yeah.
like doesn't matter.
That's true.
Right.
And it just I kind of lost train with where I was going with that, but yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Man. It's hard. It's a hard balance.
Happiness is not a realistic goal. Is how I look at it. If you're striving for it, I mean, you'll find temporariness in whether it be materialistic, whether it be mental, physical, emotional. But at the end of the day, it's not consistent. You
No.
can't keep it going forever and ever and ever. It's something that's gonna event. That's why people consistently try to find new things to do so they can maintain that happiness.
But you can find
Yeah.
happiness in spirituality and empathy.
Yeah.
You
That's
see
where
what
I
I'm
was
saying?
going with that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, for us, for me personally, I don't know about you, but for me, it's fulfilling when I make somebody smile or happy or do something good, knowing not for myself, but knowing that person has a smile on their face. I always say this: I'm not happy unless you're smiling,
Right.
or I'm not happy unless
Everyone
you're
always
happy.
ask me, Jeff, why are you always happy when you're da da da? It's because I'm in the presence of other people that I care about.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not here for the judgment. I'm not here for the materialistic things.
No, none
You know,
of
and
it.
things like that. I'm not here to put on a face or a facade for other people. I'm just genuinely glad that there's another living, breathing human next to me, and they're experiencing this life with me.
Yeah.
And though their experience is completely different, we still share the commonality of that. We are living this life, and we get to experience individual things and enlighten each other.
Yeah.
Dude,
And,
yeah.
and that's where I find, my happiness. I'm not happy all the time.
No, and that's
I'm
why
not
it's
happy.
weird because when I'm at work and they're like, Jeff, what's wrong? Because they're so used to seeing me happy, and it's like at the end of the day, I am still a human being.
I am
I
It's
still-
like,
do.
bro, I have my days.
Yeah,
I have my
exactly.
days.
Like
It's
let
be upset.
let me be sad,
Yeah.
upset, depressed, whatever. It's just
Yeah.
like
know what
being
I'm
happy
saying?
24/7 isn't realistic, and
That's
for
almost
people,
that's almost toxic.
It's fanatic.
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes
Exactly.
across as fake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
It comes across as very ingenuine because like I think like what's more like take any YouTuber for example, right? that's like instantly what I think of. Like somebody who's happy 24/7. I think of a YouTuber who like anytime they post a video, it's like they're having just the best time, and it's so forced. You can hear it in the tone, in their face. They just look crazy, and it's just like,
how long can you keep this up?
You can literally see them crying inside. A little bit.
Yeah.
You know, you can see it killing part of their soul. And it's just like, really? That's what you want?
Yeah, man.
It's like, it becomes a fanatic thing. So I think that, like, when it comes to life, like how you guys said, like, I would call it meaning.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would say that we're all talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, your guys' meaning is your relationships with other individuals in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of hard to find something other than, like, honestly, outside of relationships, I don't think you can find something more meaningful. Whether it's your relationship with God, whether it's people, because life, I've said this before, but, like, life isn't about matter, it's about what matters.
What matters.
There you go.
Yes,
You know, like,
yes, sir.
relationships are it's just a weird thing, too. Like, the fact that, it's like with people, like, you take animals, right? Like, animals have relationships, but they don't have anything close to similar to what we have.
Of course.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
There's no comparison. Even monkeys, there's absolutely no comparison of what you and me are doing right now. What we've been doing for the past hour. Nothing's like us.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You're right.
Nothing.
You're right.
Not at all.
And it's a weird thing. It's like we have this rare experience where, like, we get to have experience with being itself, with other beings itself, and we get to experience, like, life, and we get to decide how we want that experience to be.
Yeah.
Obviously there's things outside of our control, but mentally you can control how you view
Of course,
life.
yeah, definitely, man.
Right. That's facts.
Definitely. I agree.
That's facts. Yeah, man. It was like the other day when I was talking with Jeff, and this is kind of off topic, but I was like, don't remember me. Like, especially with, like, old friends that I haven't seen
In 5 years.
in 5 years or more. I'm like, do not remember me, because the person you remember is not who I am today.
Yeah.
And you have that expectation
that I'll still be
that I'll still be that.
Yeah.
but that's unfair.
And that's unfair.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Accept me and understand me for who I am today.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Not
Not
who
I was.
Who you knew.
Yeah, who
5
you
years
knew.
ago.
You see what I'm saying? And I'll bring that same mindset with you, who you are today. If I haven't seen you in 5 years, I'm gonna get to know you again.
Because it's so much has
It's
happened.
so much
Yeah.
has happened.
So much has happened.
So much has happened. You know what I'm saying? I will learn you. If you still have some certain interests, we'll bond over that. But I want to know.
You gotta relearn.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta relearn. So it's like.
I
you
feel
know-
like that's the biggest, that is the key defining difference maker in relationships.
Right.
When you can accept somebody, there's a weird balance with this,
Mhm.
because you can't just accept somebody completely for who they are.
Right.
Because let's say they're doing something that is detrimental to their life. If you actually did love them, you wouldn't accept that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, sir.
Accepting things like that is not loving them and not being there for them.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, with that balance, like, there is certain things about them that aren't bad,
Right.
but you just don't really like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
you just don't prefer those things,
Right,
or they just
exactly.
aggravate you.
Right.
But you
You'll learn to navigate.
learn, like, if you can learn to accept those things about the person, not the things where it's, like, actually bad that, like, they need to get their shit together with,
Yeah.
but, like, the genuine things where it's like you can accept them for being an introvert, you
Right.
can accept them for
Exactly,
being an
yeah.
extrovert,
An extra.
you can accept them for liking Pokemon, for
Right.
video games,
Right.
you know what I mean, like,
Yes.
or if they don't like to dance, you love to dance, but they don't like
But
to
that,
dance.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
saying?
And
Right.
you just
little
accept
things.
that.
Yeah.
That is, I feel like, when a relationship with anybody really
Blossoms.
solidifies.
Right.
Because then it's like, damn, you know, it's like I could fuck up, but, like, you'd still love me.
You still love me.
You know what I mean? Like, I could really, as long as, like, I don't do anything that is extremely, like, as long as I don't, like, have sex with, like, your
Right.
wife
If
or
it's
something
not
like that.
harmful to. Right. Absolutely.
Like, you will accept me and
Mhm.
love me.
Yeah,
And you will
exactly.
push me to be the best version of
Of
myself
yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
at the same time.
That's the goal.
It's the goal. You know what I'm
It's the
saying? And even in the positive, like, it works the other way too. It's like with the whole, you know, going back in time and canceling people.
Yeah, like what does that do?
Yeah,
again, like he's the perfect example he used. The person you knew 10, 20 years ago is not who I am now. So it's like when these celebrities or these people come on, they're apologizing. What are you apologizing for? You're not that same man or woman that you were 10, 15, 20 years ago. So why are you apologizing? It's not going to make any difference whether you say it or not. They're still going to run you through the ringer for it. So why do it?
It looks sleazy too, because I really believe, like, at the end of the day, if you're gonna say something, mean it.
Yeah, don't say it because they want you to say it.
Stand by it, and you can admit that, like, hey, you know what, like, because like we say things that are stupid all the time. Like, there's times where you could be like, hey, you know what, probably shouldn't have said that. That was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But that's all it is. It's simple, like, hey, you know what, probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I fucked up.
But like to make these whole like tours of like apology tours and like videos of
that's
like
why, bro,
them crying. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
I roll
like,
my eyes when I see an apology.
Are you talking about
video.
Will Smith?
Yes. Yes.
I'm like,
that's why I say he's profiting.
Jimmy Fallon did the same thing.
That's why I say he's profiting from it when I know he's apologizing like genuinely.
but like regardless, even after that, it was just like, no, it wasn't genuine. That was fake. What do you want him to do? Die? Just die? Like, so every time I fuck up, just die. When someone fucks up,
die.
Someone does something egregious, just die. Just disappear.
That's
and it's
basically-
like, you're no better.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it blows my mind. That's why I roll my eyes at any apology video. Because I'm like, bro, you really set up your camera, opened up OBS, did all this bullshit.
Turn on the live
feed. You know what I'm saying?
You wrote a script.
Before you squeeze the lemon in your eye. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's
Guys.
when they fake cry.
Yeah.
I'll see females do this a lot, and it's just like,
bro,
bitch, like, I know what you're doing. Like, you're not slick.
Yeah, it's whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you meant it, if you knew it was wrong, if you really meant it, it would have happened sooner or later, and then that's between me and us.
Not the
Yeah,
entire
you don't
world.
apologize to other people with nothing to do.
Why do you
with it.
care? Why do you care what the world?
That's why when I see shit like that, when someone does something, I always say, I'm always like, well, that's not for me to accept his apology, so I can't care if
what you say.
Yeah,
but apparently people do.
Right, you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be a public spectacle.
Yeah.
For everyone to see how sorry you are. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's so whack when I see stuff like that, or when people,
it's cringe, bro.
Yeah, when people dig up your grave. You know what I'm saying?
Just for something that you can't change. It's the past. The past is the past.
You're
what do you
dig
want?
up George Washington for approving slavery? Like,
that's
what? Like, what's
I
going
need you to
on,
apologize now for approving slavery.
That is why I like people like Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, even if they know they said something bad, they're like, you know what? I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
It's in the ether. It's there. You know what I'm saying? I said what I meant, and I meant what I said.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and that's just like, I fuck with that. You know what? Even if you say something that I don't like, you have the confidence to be like, you know what? I don't give a shit what you think.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say what I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, how could you not respect that?
You know what I'm saying? And usually when it comes to instances like that, if someone says something I don't like, and I feel some type of way, I want to find out why I feel that way.
Yeah.
Like, understand why you feel that way, and don't just be a reactionary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's what we call them.
Right.
Get you thinking,
It's
dude.
I call people like that reactionaries. You
Because instead of actually creating their own independent thought and trying to understand why they feel the way they feel, they just eat it, regurgitate it, and don't understand why they're regurgitating.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Of course, there are things that are objectively bad. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah, not disagreeing.
But it's like things that are in the gray area. Like, why do you 100% ride for this? You see what I'm saying? And a lot of the times you ask them that, and they can't really
give you an
tell
answer.
You see what I'm saying? They'll give you instances of someone else, you know,
or what they heard.
Right, or what they heard.
Yeah, it's a big one.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like,
that's not
bruh,
reason.
you know, like,
do some research before anything
why?
else.
We got too many bots, man.
Yeah, too many PCs.
Too
many PCs going around,
PCs,
bro. I think that's the funniest term I've heard in a minute.
Oh, the
PCs.
PC. NPC. Oh, I love that, bro.
Did you see
That
NPCs in the wild?
Freaking NPC in the wild, bro. That shit's wild, man.
Yep.
That's wild. They say jump, how high? You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, bruh, that's tough.
Yep.
True.
That's tough.
All right. We got the
What's
Dutch
Next on the
farmers.
list.
Dutch farmers? Yes, you wanted to get
Dude,
us in.
That's our last topic.
So,
Dutch farmers.
oh, gas. This is the last topic. Good. Okay, so
He said good.
no, just because like this is, I wanted this one to be the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
The Dutch farmers essentially like.
What is going on with that?
Okay, so basically what happened was the government told them that their soil that they were using is harming the earth.
Is harming.
And they made it illegal.
Okay.
So they all have to buy this other soil that's more expensive. So it puts a lot of them out of business, or it like for like 20, 30 years these guys have been using this one soil.
But
right?
now it's harming the earth.
They have built their entire business around using this soil. Now they have to change it. So a lot of these guys are going out of business, or like this is literally everybody's food.
Yeah, this is
food.
people's food.
This is everybody's food in Europe.
Yeah.
And they're literally fucking with it to the point where like the farmers have gotten so fed up that they're like, you know what, fuck it. We're not gonna have any food anyways, so just fuck it.
Recession.
So they're all getting in their tractors and they're all collectively doing the same thing the truckers did.
Damn.
That's serious, man.
Yeah, dude.
You're fucking with people's
Yeah.
food.
Fucking
man.
World Economic Forum, bro.
World
Those
Economic
people are
Forum.
literally insane.
And again, too, somebody gains from it because they're paying more money for the other soil, essentially. So
Yeah.
that puts more
Someone's-
money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Someone's
You
always
don't think
profit.
they got their.
No, I know that, but
Profits and-
again, too,
Yeah.
like really 30 years of using it, and then now it's affecting the earth. Come
Now
on,
it's
man.
I know.
affecting the
How many
earth.
people
We just
have-
pulled out a bullshit study.
Yeah. How many,
Yo,
people,
get it?
how many people have died? You know.
It's just, but it like, guys, like think about it. Like that's so fucking insane.
That's insane.
Like that's everybody's food.
Yeah.
That's the only reason these guys are out there in the streets, because it's like, dude, we're gonna starve.
Yeah. That's why
You're
they keep
gonna-
talking about this whole. Oh, there's a famine coming. There's a
Yeah,
famine
in
coming.
September. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I wonder why. It's like
I
everybody's
wonder
gonna
why.
starve except for like those people who are literally causing it, and it's
Fat
just
cats.
like,
Fat
You're gonna
cats.
see a lot. You're gonna see a lot of mass migration. You're gonna see a lot of mass
dude,
migration.
India's fucked.
India's fucked. And
Africa and
Africa,
India, I feel like
India.
they're gonna get hit the hardest
Oh!
with the famines.
freaking Africa just found, what was it, 200 million tons of gold.
Is that even real?
Uganda,
Is
not
that even
Africa, sorry,
real?
Uganda. The leader,
The leader of Uganda,
Uganda.
said, "Come and get your
come
gold."
and get your gold. He said, "This is yours," because they were they're a leader in
Minerals.
mineral export.
Yep. minerals.
And yeah, mineral and something else, and dirt or something like that.
Wait, he told his people to come get the
Come
gold?
and get the
Yeah.
gold.
He's like, "This your gold."
He said, "This is your gold."
He's
That
has,
sounds a little.
he has the squinty eyes, Jeff.
You-
He's like, "I don't believe you. I need proof."
Uganda,
I don't know, man. That just seems a little too good to be true.
Uganda. Hold on, not elections. Let me put gold.
Really? 'Cause
Yeah,
I heard
it's
about that. I don't.
it's weird as shit.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
they're playing multiple videos on it too. He literally
I
did
put
it.
Uganda. Gold discovery.
Yeah, it should be it.
31 million tons. A recent survey discovered 31 million tons.
So that's even more.
Stupid, dude. I think that's more gold that's circulating around the world,
Yeah.
dude. That's
Standing at
dumb.
$12.8 trillion. Yeah,
That's dumb, bro. That is dumb.
and
dude.
they've been poor their entire.
They've been poor. Well, you remember a lot of these international countries stripped them, made deals with government officials to keep them in power, and they were literally allowing open access to their country, to other countries, to take their gold, their diamonds, their ore, their precious metals.
Yeah, I heard about that. That shit's fucking.
That's fucked. So now, with this recent discovery, he's essentially, it hasn't been said yet, but he's essentially closing his borders. But how are you going to defend your border?
How you gonna stop people from?
How are you going to stop people from coming in? You don't have a military. You know what protects money? A military.
Yeah.
That's what protects
So he
your
has
money.
to buy military first before he
You see what I'm
closes the
saying?
border.
Granted, you could, how U.S. works. Number one, arms deal. You know what I'm saying? U.S. is gonna be making a lot of money off of this.
Yeah,
that's how you get their. Yeah, that's how you get their gold.
They're gonna do the same thing they did with the Saudi Arabians.
Yeah,
Hey, we're gonna give you that protection.
Yeah, we'll give you that protection. Give us some of that gold. We'll only give you weapons for gold.
Yep.
And it will
Nothing
increase
else.
our gold repository.
Yep.
That's crazy. But he called on his citizens to come, and there's literally videos about there people using like freaking knives and shovels, digging and grabbing gold nuggets, gold flakes and stuff to load their pockets. He said before he opens this up to anybody else, he wants his citizens to have as much as they can carry.
Yep.
As much as they. 31 million tons. That's dumb. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's so stupid.
31 million.
12.8 is
tons.
$1 trillion is a lot of money.
That's crazy,
Bro, that's like 4 or 5 generations.
That's crazy.
But yeah, man.
We might see a Wakanda, bro. Hey, it sounds close. Uganda, Wakanda.
Yeah.
Hey, it's part of the prophecy. It was meant to happen.
Yeah. We'll just pay the world to change our name to Wakanda.
I'm dead.
Oh,
this is wild,
that's
man.
crazy. But yeah. So
$12
Alright,
trillion dollars.
What it could mean for crypto.
Bruh,
right.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
All right, man. Yeah.
But that's where we're gonna leave it all.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it over that. But it's about that time.
It's about that time,
Yep,
y'all.
Yep. David, thank you again for.
Thank you,
Guys,
brother.
for
Appreciate you
Yeah,
stopping
man.
by.
Always,
Man. It's
and
always a good time, bro.
Definitely gonna have you on.
Dude.
Like I said, you get us up anytime, and we'll
For
just,
sure,
we'll just
man.
bring you on, man. Like
I love having these
Appreciate it.
conversations.
And again,
with
too,
you. They're
like
fun.
we'll be working together with future projects.
Yeah,
so
for
that's
sure.
gonna be awesome.
I'm excited,
For sure.
y'all.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
so I
dude.
can't
Big
wait for that.
facts.
But-
Big facts, y'all. Y'all check out his channel on YouTube, man. Illusion.
Plug it in, man. Plug it in.
Plug. Yeah.
Plug in any and everything.
Any and everything.
Oh, talk about illusion.
Yeah, illusion.
Support the TikTok, baby.
Soaring
what?
skies.
You know what I'm saying? Let's beat the
Help me with the shadow ban.
Yeah, help my man
all
with
I'm
the
asking.
shadow ban.
Yeah.
For
Help
real.
me with the shadow ban. TikTok illusion.
Because he's saying things they know you. They
They
don't
don't
want you
wanna
to
hear.
hear.
They don't want to hear
They
it.
don't
I
want
can
you to
share the
hear.
post on
for sure.
on your page, and then you can
We'll be
send it to your
we'll be
audience.
sharing
I
his
appreciate that.
links and his socials on our
so they can
page.
listen to.
Check it out. He solid editing skills, great videos. I love his documentaries. Check out his Black Rock. That was the first video he dropped. Super solid, man. Other than that, I'll leave it to you, brother.
Thank you guys for joining us at the tabletop today. If you want to catch us on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. And if you want to see our ugly mugs and also check out our new intros on Wednesdays and Thursdays, we are on YouTube. One word, Tabletop Topics.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok
and Twitter. And we also...
Hey.
And that's no, I just personally post on Snapchat. I haven't created.
Turn that location off.
Yeah, no, location's off. I haven't created a Snapchat for it though.
Keep that shit hidden.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Oh, man, they gonna
You will
find
never
you.
find me, even
They
though we
gonna
always.
dox your ass, bro.
We're somewhere in Florida,
Get swatted.
right?
Bruh,
Yeah.
Get swatted.
But
like a
I hope you guys have a good day, weekend, night, or evening.
Take care, y'all.